And good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? Hope you're having a fantastic, incredible morning on this fine Saturday. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing well as we get the show on the road. Sorry for the late start. Didn't mean to start so late. Apologies, you guys, but we are back, of course, and we are going to be covering game number 5 of the 2024 World Chess Championship. So, first things first, my prediction for the moves, since we are a little bit late off the gun here. I think we are going to get e4. I think Gukesh is going to go back to e4. And he does, in fact, play e4. Sure enough, he does play e4. Okay. So we get e4. Now, big moment here. Now, will Ding play e6 in the French again, or will he play e5? Big moment here. Let's see. Petrov time. I expect e5. Wow. So, okay. So I'm actually a little surprised we get another classic French defense here from Ding Laurent. I'm a little surprised by this. I'm not going to lie. I thought first game was shaky. Now, as we know, Ding did go on to win game number 1. Okay. Bro thinks he is Hikaru, by the way. Bro thinks he's Hikaru. This, of course, is what was played by Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura in the candidates against Alireza Firouzja, the exchange French. It was also played, I believe, by Jan Nepomniachtchi later in the tournament against Pragnanant, if I remember correctly. But let's see what we get. So we get knight f3. At any rate, hope you guys are doing well as we get the show on the road. I'm obviously a little bit asleep still, but that's how it goes. So yeah. We should be live. Everything should be good. So let's get the show on the road. Another draw. Let's go back to sleep. Yeah, I mean, that's not really saying a whole lot. Now let's see what Ding does here. Should obviously be blitzing out his next like 3 or 4 moves before thinking, I think. I'm a little confused, actually. I mean, he should be moving pretty quickly. To qualify for the World Cup. Let's go. Yeah, I'll do a recap on the rest day on a couple of her games late in the tournament. Refresh the board. This is the current position. Yeah, he's not out of prep. He's probably just picking a line right now. But still, the fact that he hasn't moved instantly, I actually find a little bit shocking. Yeah, we get knight f6. Okay, so all right, there we go. Okay, pretty normal. Let's see. No, it's not about being out of prep. I mean, this is something where you pick a line. Like, I completely understand it. Now let's see if we get c5 here, of course, because c5 c3 was the famous game between Hikaru Nakamura and, of course, Nijat Abasov from the candidates. So a lot of potential to be similar. You can also get this out of the Petrov order. You can get knight f3 takes d6, knight f3 knight e4, d3 knight f6 d4 d5 bishop d3. So this position can come out of e4 e5 or okay, we get c5 here. Now I am actually happy to see this from Ding Laurent. This is, of course, the famous game between Nijat Abasov and Hikaru Nakamura. But more importantly, there was a game played in this line, which improved upon that between Niels Grandilius and Alexei Shirov, I believe, from the Olympiad. So, so this is supposed to be considered about equal here for Black. Let's see if Gukesh has a special idea. Oh, let's see what we get. So, okay, we have C3 being. Oh, today Magnus's birthday. Happy 34th birthday to Magnus Carlsen. Okay, let's see what Ding is going to do here. Whoa, thanks so much to Champ for the gifted subs. Thanks so much to Champ for the 20 gifted. It's appreciated. Thank you so much to Champ1977. Sorry, you guys, I'm a little bit slow this morning. I didn't really get enough sleep last night. I only got like almost 6 hours, which is still fairly decent, but I'm a little bit slow this morning, so I do apologize. Actually, I'll start drinking my coffee. What do I think of this opening? I think this this opening was played in the famous game from the candidates between Hikaru Nakamura and Nijat Abasov. It was a very important game because when Hikaru won that game, it got him back in the running. It was the first of 3 games he won. We're still following that game, by the way, after c4. Bishop c2, probably bishop d6 here. The point is that after bishop d6 castle, I believe there was a knight d2. I believe it was bishop g4 that was played, or was it? No, sorry, I'm losing my mind. Sorry, I believe it was bishop g5. Sorry, that was played by I can't remember actually. I'm losing my mind. Too sleepy this morning. I was white against Abasov. Yeah. Okay, so far so good for Ding. Unlike his first 2 black games where he was very low on time and he's flat out prepared. This potentially bodes quite well for Gukesh. Fabio at 3200. He's been playing people who are like 300 points or more lower than him every game. That's not saying a whole lot. The sure do sometimes exaggerate your reactions for the reaction content. I do not actually. For people, that's one thing that I'm going to say. It's pretty early in the show. But you know, I did see some of those comments, like people who don't understand anything about chess, and I'm not trying to be rude here, but people who don't understand anything about chess should really not be like questioning the people who actually do. Very specifically, people are like, oh, Ding won game number 1. What are you talking about? His games with black, like that he's struggling. Like he dodged a massive bolt in the first game. That was not a good start, and more often than not, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Like he's going to be in a lot of trouble and lose the vast majority of those games. So like the people who are like, oh, but he won the first game, what are you talking about, are completely out of their mind. Secondly, more to the point, as far as the game yesterday goes, like you can talk about the language barrier and that's fine, and perhaps I'm wrong because he doesn't speak English that well, but the overall reality is, like, when people think like, oh, you know, you have no right to criticize because you haven't been there. Match play, I've been in many situations with matches, and I'll just give you one specific example where I played the World Cup in 2014. Mind you, it's only a 2-game match, but I read the comments on the second channel, not my main channel, but on the second channel, so the press conference, I read a few of the comments, and my gosh, people are out of control. But what I would say is that basically I played a match in 2014, the World Cup, against Anton Korobov from Ukraine. In the first game of the white pieces, I had a pretty boring 20-move draw with white, and I got nothing, and it was a 20-move draw. What happens second game? I'm under pressure from the get-go. I get outplayed and I lose, and I'm eliminated from the World Cup. So when people are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, or draw with white is fine, the match score is fine, but the fact of the matter is, when you don't try to win with the white pieces, especially in a match like the World Championship where your opponent is juiced to the gills with preparation, like, you cannot expect to draw every game with white and survive with black. Okay, we get queen e2. Now I believe here that I think bishop e6 is correct. Bishop e6 or queen e7 here. I vaguely feel like bishop e6, maybe I have the wrong position with bishop e6. Yeah, okay, he goes queen e7. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, this is interesting. There is play here, but is there a lot of play? I don't think there is a lot of play. Now, of course, if we get a quick draw here, then everything I said yesterday is actually invalidated. I will say that we get a quick draw here, Gukesh gets nothing, then yesterday's draw is very insignificant. Then it doesn't really matter much at all. But let's see what we get. Refresh, it's kind of dry, but how dry? Is it super dry? We're gonna get castles, probably rook e8, b3 or bishop g5. I don't know which one. Is one of the Magnus Nepo games? I don't believe so. So the way I look at this game is either going to be a relatively quick draw, or it's going to be a serious game. If I remember correctly, didn't Abasov play really well against you when you beat him when he faltered? Yes, but the game against Abasov, I castled. That's what I played against Abasov. So a little bit different. Little bit different. He took with a king because A, he wants to play a bomb cloud, but B, he wants to bring his rook to the center. So his idea is to manually castle the king out of the center of the board. But we have a long way to go. We're pretty early in the game, so let's see what we get. I mean, we're not at a stage where it's super straightforward just yet. All right, so is it a draw? I mean, position's equal, but we have a long way to go. Yeah, I mean, like, for all the people out there who want to like yap and whine and act like complete morons on the internet just because they don't have to show their face, like, I mean, just chill. Okay, just chill. Fabiano's 2012. I haven't been following that event. I saw someone was saying that I'm salty or something. No, I mean, the fact is he's been playing people who are a lot lower rated. The bottom line is if he plays well against those guys and he draws top guys, he'll probably do well in the tournament, but there's a long way to go and who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, for all the people who want to make some big deal out of it, I mean, come on, chill. Who cares? I also love the comment that, like, I'm saying everything because I'm salty that I'm not there and Ding is there. That's actually my personal favorite comment. That I love the logic behind that comment. The reason I say this stuff is because I'm like I'm annoyed at Ding, or I'm salty that Ding is there and I'm not. Like, it's always pretty comical to hear that nonsense. Let's see what we get here from Gukesh. We'll either get castles or b3 or bishop g5. One of these three moves. I don't know which one. So hey Gar, I used to search for your live content on YouTube, never found it, then I googled to find you here for the first time. Love it. That's awesome. And meet W. Yes, so at least I think here's what I would say for right now. This just currently, this doesn't mean it's always going to be like this, but at least through April, a lot of the big events that I compete in and do that stuff, it will be here on Kick. After April, we'll see. This is just a long-term thing. We'll see if it continues or it doesn't. Whether I have another Kick contract or whether I'm back on Twitch and YouTube, that's really the question. Yeah. So okay, we get castles being played, but yeah, the bottom line though, as far as it goes, is that the reality is you cannot expect to draw every game with black, and so you have to press with white in a world championship, even more so than any other event. Like, even more than any other event, like basically in the world championship, your opponents are going to be so well prepared with white most of the time that you're going to struggle. You're going to always be on your back foot trying to draw the games. So that's why you really have to be very, very on the ball. And that's why like wasting a white to make a quick draw is a very dubious choice, because you're really hoping that you don't end up in trouble in the black games. Now, of course, this opening has not gone well for Gukesh so far. This opening is about as bad of an opening as you could ask for, frankly, in my opinion. My hair won't stay. Why won't my hair stay? So, okay. Anyway, I mean, I would say that objectively, I'm mildly disappointed. I would say I'm mildly disappointed. You look funny. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes. Yeah. Am I playing the bullet brawl? Yes, I will play bullet brawl later, you guys. Yeah, you missed the beginning of the opening. Okay, so we got e4 on move 1. We got a French from Ding Loren. We got d4, d5, and then Gukesh decided to trade on d5. Now, maybe bro thought he was Hikaru here because there was a famous game with this position after c5, c3 played in late candidates between Hikaru Nakamura and Nijat Abasov here. But now Gukesh deviates with queen e2, and I think the reason Gukesh deviated is because after castles, there's a... Let me find the game, by the way. Actually, I'll have to show the game later, too, I think. Let me find the game. So I'm finding the game. Ignore the moves. Yeah, there was a game between Niels Grandelius and Alexei Shirov with castles, h3, knight c6, bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, g5, bishop g3, takes. I believe it was knight h5, right? Yeah, it was knight h5, king h2, queen d6, knight e5, knight g3 takes, f6, queen h5, knight a3 takes, knight b5, I believe it was. Knight b5 here. Yeah, it was knight b5, rook f1, queen h5, queen f6, and then rook f1, queen f1, queen g6, king f8 takes, and after king to e8 or king e7, we got this forced repetition with check, king f7 check. So there was this game between Niels Grandelius and Alexei Shirov in the Olympiad, which was an improvement on the game between Hikaru and Abasov. Of course, Niels was one of my seconds for that tournament, so it's probably one of the biggest reasons we got queen e2 in this game. But this also says a lot, by the way. It says a lot about chess that, for example, this line that I played, it worked for one game, but already after one game, everybody knew what the correct defense was. So like openings are very fluid. They're only the ideas are open for a very, very short time. The window for making something work is very, very minimal. So yeah, that's what I would say. Let me refresh the board. Car's hairline check, yeah. Get things moving quickly, exactly. Yeah. Actually, let me check the let me add this line in here right now. No, actually I shouldn't. Okay, let me see. This here. There we go. Okay, just making sure for later when I do my recap that I have these games here for the info. Okay, so all right, we got rookie 8. We're waiting for a move here from Gukesh. I will not be happy if we get a quick draw here, by the way. I'll be pretty upset. On the upside, Gukesh can press. I expect B3 here, actually. That's my assumption, but I'm a little bit disappointed in this choice from Gukesh. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit disappointed. I wouldn't say like I'm majorly disappointed, but I'm mildly disappointed that he played the exchange, because like even if you don't play knight f6, this is still generally pretty drawish here. No, now for those of you that say, isn't this exactly what Ding did yesterday? No, and I'll tell you why. The reason this is not the same, and this is also why it's very annoying to see comments, is because people who aren't strong at chess, they're just like, okay, well, queens are off the board. It's the same thing. It's not the same thing. I'll tell you the big difference, okay? The big difference is that this position, I'll tell you this, I don't have confidence that I could draw this position without any prep here as black. That's the first big difference. Like, I think there's a good chance I draw, but there's no guarantees at all here because they're imbalances. The pawn structure is imbalanced. You can go bishop g5, rook e1, knight e5. There are imbalances in the position, basically. And that's the biggest difference, that not all positions are created equal, pun intended. Because when you get this position, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. It was what here, bishop f5, it was with bishop e2, knight d7, bishop a3, I guess h6 was the move. What did he go? He went c4, e6, takes castles. I'll tell you the difference. Basically, if Gukesh had played c6 and we get this position with knight d7, the position is so symmetrical here. All the pawns are on the same files here. If you take, it's symmetrical. The symmetrical symmetry of the position combined with easy ideas with like rook c8 and castles means there's very, very, very little play here for white. Very little play. So that I basically don't think you can lose with black unless you try really, really hard. Now, of course, Gukesh made it much more interesting. He allowed the he didn't play c6. He actually went back, I believe, and we got this position with a slight imbalance in the structure. But the point is that if we gotten c6 here, it's so symmetrical with the same pieces on the board. There's no open files. There's nothing going on here, that it's so dry. You would have to try extremely hard to lose this position with black. We can't expect a result. No, that's not the point. So like when we talk about this is very dry. There's basically no chance to win unless you try hard with black, and that's why your GM speak a different language. Exactly. So the people on the internet who are going to be like, oh, it's the same thing, like this is equal. All positions are equal, we know that, but this is different because white can go b3 or bishop g5 or knight e5. It's not symmetrical in the exact same way. So even though this is equal, and it probably will be a draw, I would say, barring some big mistake, there is a lot of play left. Maybe a lot of play. There's more play. Like it's possible for black to go wrong, whereas in the other one, I could not make a mistake if I tried. Basically here you could go wrong with black. Like after b3, should you take, should you play b5? There are multiple options here because it's a multiple choice option situation. There are chances to make mistakes after b3. It's symmetrical. There's a c4 c3, there's c4 c3, so there's going to be an imbalance in the pawn structure. If you get takes, there's an imbalance already, and if you get b5, there's also a4. There's going to be an imbalance in the pawn structure on the queen side. I don't quite know exactly how it's going to work, but there will be an imbalance. On a scale of 1 to 10, how drawish is this? I'm going to say this is, I mean, with perfect play, it's like a 9.5. But I would say, objectively, it's so early. I would say it's like, I would say that it's about a 7, but I am surprised that Gukesh is thinking here. That's what does surprise. I'm actually really surprised by this. So you guys were asking me to go to Polymarket. Okay, let's go to Polymarket. Okay. This should not really change much, by the way. This should not change much. This should not change much. Yeah, draw is pretty high as it should be. I mean, it's so early that I don't even know. I don't even know where it should be. Like 78 seems fine. I mean, I think 78% is pretty fair. I think 78% is pretty fair. This is the live board, you guys. This is the current position. So, why did Gukesh not go knight c3 in the French? I'm guessing. My guess is I don't know what the reasoning is actually. Maybe it's that he wants to prod everywhere. He wants to prod all over the place, and then if nothing works, he'll go back to knight c3. But he wants to prod. He wants to explore multiple paths and see where Ding is prepped or not prepped. I don't think Gukesh will lose, but I'm going to be honest. I think there's a very high chance of a draw. And if Gukesh does not play b3, Gukesh doesn't play b3, it will be a draw. What do I think about having the cameraman inside? I don't think that's a big deal. Do you? By the way, big shout out to 3,000 you guys who are watching here on this very fine Saturday morning. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well. Knight a3 played. Yeah, knight a3 would be pretty funny. We should get b3 here actually. Although actually now that I see the computer gives a very interesting line because rook e1 king f8 takes bishop g5 and then knight to h4. Interesting to go knight f5, g6 g3 and knight g2 maybe with bishop f4. Interesting. Apparently a big Indian ISP block kick according to someone in chat here. Really? Really? Is that for real? Well, that's a disappointment. By the way, not to go on a rant, but I will tell you guys that is one big thing that annoys me is that like the double standards everywhere are just crazy on a wide variety of things. Kick.com is blocked in India. Someone can tell me that. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but whatever. Can I show the moves from the beginning? Sure. Yeah, we got the French again, but Gukesh played the exchange. By the way, actually on another note, I did look very briefly not long at the Fabiano game, and I was shocked that Fabiano's opponent John Burke did not just trade the pawns and make a draw against Fabiano and just gain his 3 rating points. So like that is one thing. Like as black, if you need to win, the French is generally a pretty shaky opening, but if your opponent's not going to trade, if you know they're not going to play the exchange French, the French is a great opening to play for the win. So okay, this is all pretty normal as I mentioned earlier. This of course was it feels like the players in this match are emulating the famous Hikaru Nakamura to some degree, maybe not emulating completely, but of course this was played in the famous game between Hikaru Nakamura and Nijat Abasov from the candidates. So it's not blocked in India. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. But we got queen e2 from Gukesh, probably because when Hikaru played castles h3 in the game against Nijat Abasov, basically after knight 6 bishop g5, h6 bishop h4, in that game I believe Abasov played rook e8, right? I actually have the game somewhere. I believe Abasov played rook e8. Let me double check that. Yeah, the game against Abasov, what was the move? Abasov played b5 against me. Abasov played b5, but later on in the Olympiad, my second Niels Grandilis played the same line against Alexei Shirov, and Alexei Shirov improved with g5, and we got this forced draw line with takes knight h5, king h2, queen d6, knight e5. What was it? It was knight g3 takes f6, knight a3 takes queen to h5, rook f1, knight b5. Was this right? No, sorry, it was knight b5, rook f1, queen h5, wrong order. And then after takes, it was check, and queen d6, king f7. The game ended with a draw. So yeah, it is what it is. So that's why we got queen e2 from Gukesh here, and then we got the blockade, and now we're waiting for move after rook e8. This is a good start for Ding. This is a perfect start for Ding. One of Fabi's opponents lost an opposite color bishop end, simple endgame. I mean, I don't really care either way. It doesn't matter. But I did catch there was a French. Thanks for being my favorite chess player and content creator. I watch you every day. Thank you. Appreciate it. Am I tuning in Fortnite? I played some Fortnite yesterday. I got into a couple of dubs again. I'm coming for clicks. and Savage and all those guys. So let's see what Gukesh plays here. We get rook e1, probably king f8 here. When do we get a Fortnite stream? I don't know. Actually, you guys probably know this, but on Kick I can only stream chess. So yeah, it won't be on Kick. I can definitely stream Fortnite on Twitch, obviously, if I want to, but not here on Kick. So we'll see. Get rook e1, probably king f8. King f8 probably takes, and bishop g5 is my best guess. That's my big guess. Takes, bishop g5. Don't say draw yet, you guys. See, this is why chess is so difficult. I'm just gonna tell you guys again, and I don't mean to rant, but this is why chess is so difficult, because again, I don't know if I objectively think the eval bar is a good thing or a bad thing in chess, because everybody says equal and they're like, oh, queens are off the board, dead draw, and like, they're wrong. This is not all chess positions are created equal. This position is equal, but there are chances for a lot of play in this game, unlike the game yesterday. So that's why, like, it's annoying that people say things like, I mean, everybody thinks they're a genius, but they aren't. And it's really frustrating because chess and nuances are so deep, and that's why, honestly, I mean, that's why I've said many times about chess that at the end of the day, this is why when you look at chess, you have to treat, if you want chess to be very big, you have to treat chess, I mean, I would say it's equal anyway without eval bar, but you would say that chess is you know, chess, if you want to go really big, you need it to be about entertainment, not about the pure chess, because chess is boring. Chess is boring. It is inherently boring. Like, people cannot understand the difference between this position in the game yesterday unless you're literally like 2400 or better. Maybe not 2400, but at least master level, I would say. And master level already, you have to be in the top 99% of chess players to understand the difference. So just that already is like says the point. That's why very oftentimes when it comes to chess, I always am stressing that, you know, trusting the eval bar and these sorts of things, like that's not how it is. That's just not reality. No, 99% 1700 online, you're correct. I'm talking over the board 2200, which is effectively like 2600 online. So that's what I would say is that, like, it's very tricky, because like you end up in these situations where people are like, I mean, half the people on the internet, to, you know, if this is a quick trial, be like, see, what does Hikaru know? This game's the same as yesterday, but this game is not the same as yesterday at all. Because again, I would not say that I could draw this game without any prep as black. I think there's a decent job, but a decent chance, but I don't think there's any guarantee that I would draw this, because there's so many chances, there's so many options. It's basically like a multiple choice math test. It's a multiple choice test, and multiple choice tests, the more moves that you have multiple choices, the more chance to go wrong, versus yesterday where there were no multiple choices. It was just literally straightforward draw for Gukesh. Is it cold? It's actually cold outside at the moment, but I'm in flow ride and it'll heat up pretty quickly. Okay, probably knight b2 or knight h4. Gukesh could know the knight h4 line. I don't think he's purely out of prep. He's probably just trying to recall the line. Do I think Ding is underrated? No. Did I feel like it was a waste of time waking up early for board and draw? No, you guys, because obviously I get paid, so why would it be a waste? No, I actually enjoy it. I'm gonna say, you guys, like, finding motivation to like stream early, like I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Like, getting up early, like, it's one of those things that it reminds me of the pandemic times, like just the pure grind. Because I don't grind as much as I once did. Like, that's just a reality. I don't. Like, I usually stream about 100 hours a month, about 25 a week, whereas before, although this month I'm grinding. This month I'm streaming close to like 110 hours, I think, which it's the first time I've streamed that much, and probably, I don't know, I honestly want to say like quite a while. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else, I forgot, but yeah, I don't generally grind as much anymore, so like it's fun to get up early and cover this. Would you want to continue that amount of streaming? My wife did win, by the way, you guys. So I mean, like when people expect me to be unhappy about, like, I guess Fabiano or some or other stuff, like I really don't give a flying fridge, honestly, because like at the end of the day, that matters a lot more. Actually, I had to go, I actually I'm only gonna say this once, but yesterday, as soon as the stream ended, I went to bed. Like my wife's game was beginning, and she needed to win in order to win the tournament, and I went to bed. Like I could not handle it. I couldn't handle watching the game with all this, with the stakes, everything that was on the line. So I went to bed. I couldn't handle it. So I went to bed, and honestly, that actually, I guess that's probably how you guys feel when you watch my games. It's probably the same way when you watch my games. You guys probably feel the same way. So anyway, will there be a recap? Probably on the rest day there will be. Yeah, there will. Okay, knight bd2. Okay, see, like here's a good example. See, when people say this is equal, yes, position is equal here, but black has so many options. You have h6, you have b5, you have king f8. Multiple choice test, you guys. When your opponent has multiple choices every single move, there are more chances for them to pick the wrong answer. And that's why in chess every position is equal, but not all equal positions are created equal. Am I a philosopher there with that statement? All positions are equal, but not all positions are equal, but not. Wait, what? I can't remember what I just said. I said all positions are equal, but not all equal positions are created equal. I don't know. I don't know. But some are more equal than others. Yeah, I'm trying to be a philosopher right now. But anyway, but yeah, the point is, while this is equal, there are a lot of options. It's a multiple choice test, and the more multiple choices there are where you don't have the computer, the more chance to make mistakes. Nice quote by Pythagoras. Yeah. Equal doesn't equal equal. Not all equal positions are equal. Yes. Yeah. So, okay. I mean, I think, I mean, objectively, perfect play. This will be a draw, but Ding is gonna have to play a couple of good moves. He's gonna have to earn his money today. He's not just gonna get a draw without any play, or without any danger. What more than games, the questions they ask in interviews are so dumb and irritating. Yesterday I asked Vishy if Gukesh will wins, will he respect him? That was ridiculous, by the way. Someone, even though of course I grew up in America, someone who comes from the Far East, at least partially, obviously I'm familiar with the culture, whether it's India, whether it's Japan, wherever. Like, respecting your elders is a thing, and I think Mike Klein apparently doesn't know that that's the reason that Gukesh should practice it up. It had nothing to do, like, it's just respecting your elders. Like, it's just a standard thing in the Far East. But I guess Mike Klein's researchers didn't do any research on that particular topic. So yeah, I was a little bit appalled by that. I'm not gonna lie. I was really appalled about it. It's not because Vishy was the world, I mean, it's partially he's world champion, but it's mainly just like a respect thing. So yeah, let's leave it at that. For Gukesh, zero risk here. Zero risk. Zero risk, basically. It's more on Ding to play a couple of solid moves. Also, I think, I'll give you guys another view on this. I think one of the reasons my hair is really bothering me this morning. I think one of the reasons that Gukesh also might have played this is because it's a chance for Gukesh to outplay Ding in an endgame in a drier position, and it's another chance from a psychological standpoint to put pressure on him. It's a chance to try and psychologically, like, if you can beat him in an drawish endgame, now you've shown that you can beat him in like a tactical game. You can beat him with prep. You can beat him in an endgame, and so it's tough. I basically, I'll tell you this: if Ding plays 3 or 4 best moves in a row, he'll draw this game and it'll be a breeze. If he does not, he's going to be under pressure, is my prediction. I mean, and this is where, like, what I said yesterday, like, a lot of people got mad at me saying I would draw the game without prep, and like, oh, he's just saying stuff. Like, this is a position where I don't think I would just draw this without prep. Without knowing what to do here as black, you have so many options: b5, h6, king f8. It's not a straight path. It's not a path where you get from point A to point B. That's why this is very different from yesterday. But of course, all the people who are watching who are 1200 or lower, they don't understand that. And someone's going to clip that, I'm sure, as well, but I don't care. But yeah, that's the problem, is that, like, not all equal positions are the same. That's the reality. Not all equal positions are the same. And that's what's so difficult about chess, is that a lot of times, like, people see the eval bar and you rely on the eval bar. I mean, I'll give you another example. Like, this is why the world is being ruined, is that it's no different than when, like, you go outside and there are people I know, including my wife, and literally they're incapable of driving without Google Maps. Literally they go somewhere, like, they go somewhere and they have to have Google Maps on their phone. Literally, you have to put it on the dash. You have to look to get your directions. They can't just drive from point A to point B without directions. Whereas me, if I do, like, let's just say I go to Costco 5 times, like, if I go to Costco, not even 5 times, but let's just say 3 times, like, I literally have it memorized. It's in my head, and I will drive to Costco and not use my maps. I don't need to use the maps, at least for getting to Costco ever again. But that's kind of the point, is that, like, at the end of the day, so it's like same with chess. It's like, okay, I look at the eval bar, draw equal 0.00, draw. Every game's a draw. What's Hikaru talking about? He's completely stupid. But as I've said before, computers are 3,500, and you have to use the one thing that God gave you, which is a freaking brain. Use your brain. Okay, use your brain. All right. Anyway, back to the game, so I don't sound like a old man yelling at cloud. Let's see what we get here from Ding. Let's see what we get. Hikaru, chill. Yeah, exactly, chill. Yeah, old man yelling at cloud, exactly. All right, so in the meantime, let's see what Ding will play here. My prediction here is that he will go king f8. I do not think b5 is playable, but it feels a little bit iffy. You're running into knight e5, you're running into rook e1. I mean, right now white has not played b3 yet to challenge the center, so I would say my prediction is king f8 or h6. b5 feels a little bit iffy. Like, I guess it's okay. Knight h5. Wow, okay. Knight g6, knight b6 is some kind of weird. There's some kind of weird computer line that I don't understand. Yeah, my guess is h6. How should we analyze games by 2800 so that it would be more realistic? My hot take, this isn't a hot take, but my one take of the day is that I think if we're ever going to get to that point where we have computer programs that are basically that can analyze in a human way, it's going to be because of the LLMs and AI specifically. That is the one hope I have, that potentially with LLMs that you can create some kind of model where computers are able to play in a different kind of way. Because right now the problem with the computer programs, I'll give you guys an example. So let me go to chess.com. I'll give you an example, and I don't want to spoil, by the way. That is if chess.com wants to load. I'll give you an example. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the bots page. I'm gonna spoil something a little bit, but we will have a video coming out, which I recorded on the rest day, playing against the bots, against some of these bots here. But I'll give you an example. So for example, you have Synta, which doesn't have a rating, or you go to engine and you can play is this, I believe this engine, what is this engine? Is this Torch or Stockfish? I don't know. Like, you can adjust the rating all over the place, but if I play against the engine at 2800 or 2900, it's 2800, it's an arbitrary number out there in the ether. All it means is the computer will, like, play a second or a third line. There's not an actual quantifiable way for what that means. It's Komodo, maybe it's Komodo or Torch, I don't know, but it isn't quantifiable. Like, you can't say why, or it's like even me, why am I 2800? Like, it's not quantifiable, like with a computer. So like when a bot is like 2800 or 2900, that doesn't actually mean anything at all. It means squadouche. So that's kind of why it's very, very tricky in terms of trying to create a bot. I think there is a chance that with LLMs and everything going on, that maybe like if there's a side project or someone gets bored, you could have it happen where you have a proprietary chess engine doing that. But again, the other problem with doing that is that it's you're never going to make any profit on it. Here in the real world, everyone's all about capitalism, the American way, and chess has no money in it. So like, I am skeptical that people are really going to want to put a lot of money into something like that, because there's going to be no return on it. But it is possible. Yeah, it is possible. But unless you come up with a new type of, like, I'm not a computer science guy, obviously, but unless you come up with a new way fundamentally where you can input like tons of data points from like human games and it can like self-learn and play the way a human would play, we're always gonna have this problem of the eval bar being from a 3500 level computer, and basically people are gonna see the eval bar and not realize what is human and what is Detroit. Or yeah, exactly. What's the game? Detroit becomes human. Sorry, I was trying to make a joke there, but yeah, unless we get to that stage, Detroit won't become human. So let's see what we got here. Waiting for a move here from Gukesh, or not Gukesh, sorry, from Dingleran. I've been watching your YouTube channel, yours, Levy's, like every day. You look a little different. I look different. Yeah, I look different. It's because I shaved. I shaved, you guys. I shaved off my beard. That's why. Or there's part B to the question, you guys, which is engines can actually explain in a non-numerical way why they think a position is equal or why a move is the best move. Where I get my shirt? So this shirt, you guys, there's a fun story of this shirt. I got the shirt at the chess.com meetup in Riviera Maya in Mexico. I believe it was 2014 maybe. I can find in my email probably. I must have an email. Let me see. What year was it? It was at the chess.com meetup. Let me see if I can find it. It was 2015. It was in November 2015. So it was, holy, 9 years ago. It was 9 years ago, you guys. I went to the chess.com meetup in Cancun, and I bought the shirt there. So yep. It reminds me of the I love to parrot this phrase a lot of times, but you know, one of my favorite phrases is a Steve Jobs quote, which is you can always connect the dots looking backwards but never looking forward. And like this shirt's a good example. Like I just bought this Hawaiian shirt. I figured whatever, it's a nice shirt, why not have one or two? And sure enough, it ended up having Hawaiian shirts were ended up being a thing. It was actually very, very you know, maybe somehow the universe knew that I would end up having or needing a lot of Hawaiian shirts down the road. By the way, it's kind of amazing because probably almost nobody here knows this. Actually, how many people are watching right now? Let's see. We have over 3,000 people at the start here today on Saturday. Probably literally nobody here except for me know. Well, probably maybe one or two of my mods might know, but basically you might not know this, but in 2015 chess.com's platform, the play platform, was stuck in the mud. Bullet was basically unplayable. You couldn't do anything. You could still play Blitz, but they had all kinds of issues. And when I was in Cancun, that was when chess.com, they basically revamped everything. They redid the entire play zone completely. They basically took it all apart and they redid it. So that was a huge task. That was a huge undertaking by chess.com at the time, and that's when they started working on version V2. They went from V1 to V2. So crazy times. Yeah, I mean almost nobody here probably knows that. We're on move numero 14. Who are my favorite Asian GMs current past? I mean, obviously my favorite is definitely Vishy Anand. Greatest grandmaster from Asia, not even a question. I mean, Vishy, what he has done for the game of chess in India, I mean, he doesn't get the credit he deserves, honestly. I mean, I get that we live in a world where it's, you know, unless you've done something in social media age, people really can't comprehend it on some level, but truth be told, I mean, I think Vishy, he gets credit, but I don't think people truly understand just how insane it is what he has done. Like truly insane. I mean, so many people who watch some of the internet now, they didn't live in the real world before technology and computers. But like Vishy is like a kid from India, no technology, no computers, no access, having to go and buy books. I don't even know if there were that many chess books you could buy in India at the time. To come from a country with very limited chess history at the time. I know people got angry at me over that too, by the way, because they're crazy. But to come from a country like India, which had one international at their time, you have no computers, you don't have access to playing against the best players in the world. To do what he did is just like, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And Vishy doesn't get the credit he deserves. I mean, he does get a lot of credit, but I think people don't truly understand just how insane it is what he did. I mean, it's truly off the charts. I mean, I really think the only person in history who you can compare to Vishy objectively is Michael Botvinnik from the Soviet Union, because Michael Botvinnik created the whole Russian school of chess, and many world champions after him, they learned that way. Like there was a whole system to it. You had Anatoly Karpov and Garry Kasparov, you had Vladimir Kramnik, and many others too. So I mean, really historically, in terms of the contribution to their country and chess overall, I mean, I think Vishy is right up there at the top alongside Michael Tal. Manuel Aaron was the IM from India. Yes, Manuel Aaron was the one lone Indian IM, and I spoke about this recently when I was in London, but I remember meeting Manuel Aaron at the World Youth Chess Festival in 1998, I believe it was, in Oropesa del Mar. And I remember he was there taking pictures because he at the time he had a publication. I think it still exists. Maybe it exists. I don't know if it does. But there he had this magazine that he was putting out every month called Chessmate. And when I go back to New York in December, I'll definitely try to do a stream from where I grew up, and hopefully I can find a copy of that. Maybe I'll even, if I can, maybe I can find a copy and bring it to the World Rapid and Blitz and ask Vishy to sign it. I think Manuel Aaron is still alive. I think he's in his late 80s, but I believe he is still alive if I'm not mistaken. 1935, 88 years old, still alive. Wow. And that's the other thing that also, like, you see people like that where like he's a name that, like, unless you're in India, you don't know who he is. Like anyone who did stuff before the computer age, before social media and everything took over, people have no idea about these great contributors. Bobby has had no role. I mean, Bobby had a role in the US that, like, the generation of grandmasters that came after him, there were a lot of people who were inspired, but it was a very short-term blip. So I don't really think putting Bobby Fischer is in the same level. Also, frankly, I don't think any of us are great at chess who represent America because of Bobby Fischer. So, like, for me, you know, I played a lot of open tournaments. I actually would say the reason I'm so good is because of the internet. The reason Fabiano is so good is because he went to Europe and studied with a lot of Russian trainers. He learned the European approach. Wesley So obviously grew up in the Philippines. Levon Aronian grew up in Armenia. Levon had some of that Soviet school in him for sure, but you can't really tie it directly to, like, one person the same way. So that's what I would say. Okay, we're at the multiple choice question, multiple path situation here. We're dealing with a couple of moves. This is why at the end of the day, I would say at the end of the day, this is not like yesterday because there are multiple options. So we have play with perfect play. It'll be a draw, of course, but let's see if Ding can play perfect chess. I played a similar opening against Abasov. Did I look at Queen E2? I'll tell you guys how chess works, okay? You know, let's be real, okay? When I played this against Abasov and the candidates, I knew there was a chance that Abasov might know this line as a draw. I'll show you guys a specific line that I played, which is castle h3, knight c6, bishop g5. Now, the point to this line, you guys, is that at that time, I believe this was still a novelty. This had never been played. What that means is this is a novelty. So a lot of what chess is at the top level is calculation in terms of risk reward and how likely your opponent is to know. So when I played bishop g5, I knew that h6, bishop h4, g5, bishop g3 takes knight h5, king h2, queen d6, knight e5, that this line, which occurred later on in the game between Grandilis and Shirov, is a draw, but it's a novelty. It's a novelty. This is a novelty. So if or wait, I'm on the wrong one. Where were we? Here. Like, I knew that this is a draw if you know this is black, but it's never been played before. How likely is it that my opponent can figure this out over the board? And I correctly assessed the chances of Abasov playing this over the board and knowing it was a draw were very low, and in fact it didn't happen. Now, of course, this is why history is always different in chess, because if Abasov knew this line with h6, bishop h4, g5, and knight h5, if he knew this was a draw, that game's a draw, and history is very different, and nobody is showing me any respect towards the candidates and that great run I had at the end. Literally, this is the difference between me having a mediocre candidates and having a shot at winning the whole thing. Because when I beat Abasov, I then would win my next two games to go on a 3-game streak. So this is why, I mean, chess is so insane. Like, literally, this is the difference between, I mean, like, if I had played this, Fabiano's podcast would be laughing at me. Literally, he'd be laughing at me saying, see, Hikaru, he wasn't serious, he wasn't prepared well, everything else. But because Abasov didn't know this and I won that game, the whole storyline, everything is completely different than it would have been because I won this game. Like, this is why chess is so stupid, because literally against Abasov it worked. Against another player, they would have played g5 and known the line. Like, this is why a lot of what chess is now is about risk reward. Risk reward. What's my reaction on Magnus saying your second choice after Levy jokingly? I don't know. I don't really understand why Magnus said that, actually, because we're supposed to be on the same team. It seems like a kind of weird remark to me, frankly. I just don't understand what he's trying to do. Anyway, though, back to what I was saying about this. It's like, this is all about the right opponent. You play the right opponent, they're not going to know g5. You know the wrong opponent, they're not going to do it. Like, that's kind of the thing at the end of the day. Is like, every game of chess is very dank. It's very dank. Like, that's the thing. Against one opponent, like Abasov, it works. He doesn't play this line. Of course, later on, when my second Niels Grandelius plays it against Shirov knows it, and the game ends in a draw. But that's kind of the thing that's like really tough in chess. A lot of it is making the right choice, and if it works, you look like a genius, and if it doesn't work, everyone's like, oh, what are you doing? You don't know how to prepare. You suck at chess. Go away. Like, learn how to play the game. So that's why it's very, very deep. It's very deep. This preparation was done in Los Angeles, California, in the United States of America, in March of 2024. Yeah, when Niels was in Los Angeles, I was we prepped that line. So yeah, but anyway, again, as I was saying, that's kind of the point, is like we chose it because, again, we thought that basically the assessment was, when you go into this line, if black does not, how do I get back to my analysis? Why can't I get the analysis? I have to make them. Oh, I click on analysis. There we go. Okay. Basically the point is, we concluded against a slightly lower rated player like Abasov, if he didn't know this line, if he didn't know this bishop 8, bishop g5, h4, g3 line, that I would get great chance to win with all the pieces on the board. If he did, oh well, that's life. What can you do? If everybody knows every line, it's a draw, versus going to a queenless endgame. But there are lines within the exchange French or the Petrov where you do play queen e2 and you go into an endgame. And a certain grandmaster by the name of Cagnus Marlson, also the 5-time world champion, he does like this line. He does like this line in general, with queens coming off the board early. Okay, ding thinking here. So yeah, of course we're talking about Cagnus. Yeah, this opening is not dubious, but the point is, it's one way. Either Gukesh wins or it's a draw. It's one of these things where in chess there are 3 results. So effectively, you win, you lose, or you draw. But in chess, one of the things that happens a lot at top level chess, especially with white, is generally you want to play for 2 results. You want a situation where you can play for the draw or the win. You don't want the 3 result play. You don't want to win, loss, draw. You want win or draw. You want to play for 66% of the pot at all times. So chess is actually a lot like Pot Limit Omaha. Sorry, not Pot Limit Omaha, 08 or Stud 8, where you try to play for 2/3 of the pot if you can. You try to control it as much as you can. That's what you try to do. You try to play for 2/3 of the pot, because you want to chop high or low, and then you want to win on the other side if you can, especially if you're playing Stud 8, which, by the way, is probably my best game even now. Anyway. All right, so back to the game. We're waiting for the move here from Ding Loren. Someone earlier was saying that I talk about a lot of different topics. Yeah, I'll give you guys my other hot take of the day. Honestly, if I hadn't wasted so much of my time acquiring other interests, I probably would be a much better chess player than I am today. So I don't have any regrets about it, but yeah, the fact that I talk about too many things, I wasted too much time actually looking at other stuff, is probably why I'm not that good at chess. Why go sicko mode if Ding loses on time? Ding should not lose on time here. How big of a casino gamble? I don't gamble. I don't do that, really. I don't do that. My game is the stock market. And I was proven right too, actually. I was proven right. I had a pretty good week, actually. I had a great week because biotech rebounded very nicely. Unless you owned Cassava, and then you lost everything. Learning the other stuff makes you a better streamer. That's true, actually. You're right. So basically, I sacrificed my chess potential so that I could be a streamer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any thoughts on what you're planning to do after retirement? I can tell you what I plan to do in retirement. I'm gonna love basically watering my lemon tree. My lemon tree that I have, I'm gonna really enjoy. I'm gonna enjoy watering it every morning. I'm gonna enjoy planting like the mint as well, and shrubbery and all that. Not shrubbery, sorry, and like and a bunch of flowers and everything else. Like that's what I'm gonna do in retirement. One thing I read that's actually maybe I'm stereotyping here, but when I read about the Japanese people who live to be really old, I feel like a lot of those Japanese people, they went into gardening. Like when I looked at like the people who lived well past 100, they all like did something like gardening later in life. So anyway, all right, back to the game. That's very random, but yeah, I have a lemon tree, by the way. I do have a lemon tree. So anyway, okay, let's see what Ding does here. Did I consider trading as a job for you? No, but it is a serious part of my income. It is actually. Like if let me do some math. Let me figure out. I mean, short-term trading this year. Let me take a look at my account. Let me do some math. Yeah, it's not a joke actually. It's not a joke at all. Short-term trading, not including long-term profits this year, is like actually like 10% of my income. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Anyway, okay. Let's see what we got here. Waiting for a move from Ding. What's my connection to biotech? I know a couple people in biotech actually. I've had some fun conversations, or some conversations like Martin, for example, who was like riding the cassava short train for the last like 10 years. Anyway, I know people in biotech. I was also sponsored by a biotech company for a while from the United Kingdom and RNAi. So yeah. Anyway, okay. Let's see what we get here. Waiting for a move. Probably I'm gonna guess H6. Ding using a lot of time here, by the way, for anyone who's wondering. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world because we're in an end game. Queens are off the board. Queens are off the board. So, all right. Basically here, because it's an end game, it's not a big deal. Japanese people live that long because of food. No chance to live that long in America. Of course you can live that long in America. It's just expensive. It just means you have to go to whole paycheck and spend a lot more money. That's actually what you mean to say. And who knows, with RFK, maybe suddenly everything will become healthy again. But let's see. Okay, Ding's still thinking not a big deal here. Not a big deal yet. I would say because it's an end game. I mean, in an end game, it's much easier to play moves quickly because there isn't like you're not getting attacked majorly here. But that being said, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the choice from Gukesh on the one hand, but on the other hand, the game is going to be dragged out. It's going to be a long, slow game. So I also don't dislike it either. So, why do I so nervously fiddle with chess pieces? Every chess player has something like that. It's fiddling with chess pieces where you twirl the pieces is very much what top chess players do. I don't know why they do it, but they do it. Yeah. RFK is going to make retirement much more affordable because it's harder to afford 20 years of retirement than it is to afford 5 years before you die. Okay, dude. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, you're saying by making everything healthy, the price are gonna like quadruple is what you're saying, right? Prices are gonna be super expensive, so you're only gonna live 5 years because you can only afford 5 years of it or something. This game is not boring at all, by the way. For anyone who says this game is boring, this is not boring. It's not boring at all. So yeah. Ding is under prep, but why? I mean, honest take, I know everyone on the internet who doesn't really understand chess that well loves to like say stupid stuff. Everyone just loves to say stupid stuff, period. Which I think is why Fabiano got annoyed too. But like the thing is, like, at the end of the day, Ding has had 6+ months to prepare, and he has not, it would seem to me, prepared very well. Now, this game is not actually the example, but basically I would say when you look at his games with white, he's got nothing. With black, he's been under pressure. I know he won game number 1, but that was a game that I would say more often than not from odds perspective would go south. So I would say that in general, I think it's that probably I don't want to give the clickbaity obvious answer everyone's hoping to see, because I don't think it's true. But like I don't know why he's not prepared. I don't know what's going on in his life. Maybe he's already checked out from the game and he's just showing up to collect the paycheck. Like, I don't really know what's going on, but it would appear to me that he's just not he's not well prepared, and I don't know why it is. No, I mean, the clickbaity answer is that the clickbaity answer that you know, that I could say if I want to make a clip or a short, which also proves the point that I'm not just simply doing stuff for clicks, is something like, you know, well, he's just here to collect the paycheck. He doesn't care at all, and he's just like, he wants to collect one last paycheck before he retires. But I don't actually really believe that. So I don't know. I think it's probably other stuff going on in his life. That's my guess. Well, I mean, I just explained it, so it doesn't really work the same way. Yeah. No, I mean, honest take, I think that when Ding loses, if he loses this match or whenever he loses a match, he's not gonna like retire where he says he's never gonna play again, but you won't see him play. He'll probably play like one tournament a year or something like that. But yeah, I really do think Ding is he's in the ride into the sunset mode. How will I make chess great again? I'm probably doing an event with Levy early next year, and it's the start of something much bigger. That's all I'm gonna say right now. So that's how I intend to make chess great again. Can I check Polymarket? Sure. Let's see. Polymarket. Polymarket, what are the chances? They put draw at 88%. You want to know the truth, you guys? This is wrong. 88% is way too high. This is a massive return if you buy the no. I would be buying the no here at 14 cents. I would literally buy this hand over fist here. Hand over fist. See, this is where 3 moves are zeros. I would be buying hand over fist. I think it's a draw is more likely than not. It is not 88% that this is going to be a draw. I think the draw chance here is honestly, draw chance is probably, I think it's still pretty high, but it's probably like 70%. It's 70% here. One wrong move from Ding and he's going to get crushed. One wrong move, one slight wrong move, and he's going to lose this game. Completely, the odds are completely wrong here. It should not be 88% at all. Should not be 88%. That's not financial advice, but yeah. No, 88% is way too high. That's insane. 88% here to be a draw. I mean, if Ding is not precise, he makes one wrong move, he is going to lose. 88% is when it's going to be a draw. One wrong move here, Ding loses this game. And Ding has used 30 minutes on this move. He's uncomfortable. He doesn't know what he's going to do. Those odds are completely wrong. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. Do they think Polymarket listens to your stream? I don't know. I don't know, but that's like completely wrong. Completely wrong. I'm manipulating the price. No, but I mean, but I'm telling you, like, this is still more likely than not it's going to be a draw. But this is not 88% draw. 88% is like a rook and pawn endgame that's pretty basic. This is not like a basic rook and pawn endgame. They're all the minor pieces on the board. Rooks are on the board. The king is in the open. There's rook e195. There's b3. It's a multiple choice situation. Ding does not play the correct answer. And there's that. Was I offered a job at Google AI? I was no, I can't say anything on that. No. I can't say anything. Let's get back to the game. Let's see what Ding is going to play here. I expect h6 here. That's the move I expect, and it is indeed played here. So let's see. We got bishop h4 played instantly by Gukesh. Okay, instantly. I also can't say anything about what job I was offered at Google. Did you sign an NDA, Shaydoc? I don't think you did. But anyway, all right. Let's see what we get here. Okay. Okay, next like 3 moves are very important. Now, to be clear, just because I say that this is likely to be, just because I say that, you know, that doesn't mean the game won't be a draw. It still is more likely than not that it's a draw. But looking at the piece placement here, looking at the piece placement of the bishops, the knights, and the rook here, honestly, I don't agree with it being so high. I really do think that objectively, it's probably 75-25. 80-20 if you're being really optimistic, but based on Ding's form and the time situation here, I think it's probably 75-25 at best. I think 70-30 is probably where it should be. You should probably go b5 here. What's the LED pineapple I order off of Amazon? I can find it. I can find it for you guys. Yes. Is this Amazon? I should not log in. This is, wait, is this the, oh wait, no, it's the other one. Sorry. I got to make sure I don't log into I can't show that on my Amazon or show, because then I'll show. I found it though. I'll give you guys the link. Here's the link. There's the link. There's the link. It's a luminosity pineapple. I got my mods got it off of Amazon as a gift for me, and I've had it on my wall ever since. Yeah, I put the link there so you guys can go there. I'm not going to show on stream because I don't accidentally leak where I am. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is not, I mean, now here's where we get back into the tricky spot though. For example, like this is a very tricky spot, because here's what I would say, you guys. If we get knight h5 here, probably the 88% is correct. But if we don't get knight h5, I think the odds are very low that this is a safe draw for Ding. And that's why every move is so critical here. Knight h5 is the best move, and it's just zeros. If Ding plays knight h5, he probably draws the game very cleanly. But it's also a tricky move, because like, for example, why exactly is this equals? Like, I mean, maybe this is equal, but now the knight is very well placed. It's gonna be a long grind. b3 to hit the chain. Like, knight h5 is probably the odds are correct. But if he doesn't play knight h5, I think he's gonna suffer. So again, this is where we get to the multiple choice possibilities and how realistic the moves are. g5 creates a big weakness. I think white's much better here, right? Yeah, it's like 0.3 already, because now there's b3, there's knight 1, knight e3, there's some Swiss cheese, weaknesses everywhere. D's knights are active. Yeah, like this is not simple. It's not simple at all. I still think draw is more likely than not, but no guarantees whatsoever. No guarantees at all here. Also, I don't think I have any, actually, do I have ramen? I might have some ramen, I don't know. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna go turn on my air fryer and heat up some spring rolls and maybe some tempura in a second. I think is what I'll do. I finished my last one yesterday. I'm out of ramen. I have no ramen left. Yeah. I didn't have time to go to Costco, so yeah, I have no ramen. I have one of the other brands left, but the other brand has there's no protein, there's no chicken or anything. Like, I mean, there's no protein. Maybe I could heat up some chicken, a couple pieces of chicken, like Tyson chicken or something. Hikaru is turning into a college student. Isn't that what they say? Don't they say that as you get, don't they say that as you, I have cereal but I have no milk. I have cereal but I have no milk. That's the only problem. Bro is gonna spend his 50 million on medical bills. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Okay, waiting for a move here. Let's see what we get. Why don't ramen you get some more? Because I didn't have time to go to Costco. That's why. I'm a little confused why Ding is thinking again. Because I mean, bishop h4 is other than rookie 1, bishop h4 is the only other move here. Congrats on the achievement your wife did yesterday. I saw it on Alex. Yeah, my wife won a tournament. I mean, You know, I would say I try not to say things like this. I think it's bad to have this mindset, but I generally feel like in life there's so much life or karma or whatever you want to call it that goes around, and I feel like honestly, when it comes to chess, especially as it relates to my wife, that somehow like I've sucked up all the fortune or whatever you want to call it. And so she's been very unlucky in a lot of tournaments. Like she's had some good tournaments where she's played some good games, but somehow something always goes wrong at a critical moment. And I very much felt like it's because like she's with me, and like I've just sucked up all the good luck or the fortune or whatever you want to call it. And so it was great to see her finally have a good event and get a win. She won her last 4 games, which was very important. So anyway, just join move recap. Sure. Okay, so we got the classic as groundskeeper Willie would put it, we got the classic cheese eating surrender monkey opening. That's groundskeeper Willie, not me, so don't get angry. We got e4 e6, we got d4 d5, and now we got takes, knight f3, knight f6, and bishop d3, c5, and c3. Now this of course was played in the famous game in the candidates between that stupid streamer guy Hikaru Nakamura and Nijat Abasov. But after bishop d6, we got queen e2, which is it's not a new move, but it's not the move that was played in the Hikaru game. Probably the reason queen e2 was not played is because in the game between Hikaru and Nijat, we got this line with h3 and bishop g5, and at the time this was not really very popular, it wasn't known. So when Hikaru played this against Abasov, we got h6, bishop h4, and b5. But later on in the Chess Olympiad, there was a game between Hikaru's second, Niels Grandelius, and Alexei Shirov, and Shirov played the correct line g5, and after take 6, knight h5, hitting the juicer, king h2, queen d6, knight e5. The game would lead to an instant draw here due to preparation. After d6, knight a3, takes, knight b5, rook f1, queen h5, temporarily sacking the rook. We got queen f6, takes, check here, takes here, check here, check here, and then after king f7, the game would end peacefully in a draw. So we got this draw in the game between Grandelius and Shirov. No doubt Ding knew this game, so that's why Gukesh chose not to go into it. At the time it was new, but after Hikaru played it, you know, he's a famous streamer, he's got millions of followers, everybody studied this line, they try harder with the computer, and so it's no longer playable, at least in this sequence. And so that's why we got queen to e2 instead, being played by Gukesh, or queen to e2 here. We got queen e7, queens come off the board right away, and now Ding plays a bomb cloud into the manual castle, and we get the trade. And now this is where we currently are here after bishop h4. Let me refresh the board. Ding is thinking here. He thought for 30 minutes on the last move. This is where the multiple choice question comes into play. Yeah, that streamer sucks himself up so much. I mean, I do that as a joke, you guys. Obviously I don't care at all, but I do it as a joke at this point because people find it funny. King f8 is not on the board, no. Now this is where also for anyone who's trying to compare yesterday's game to today's game, you're saying, well, queens are off the board, it's very drawish. What kind of prep is this from Gukesh? He doesn't know what he's doing. This is very different than yesterday, because yesterday there were no multi-choice questions on the test for Gukesh. He basically, if he played anything, he was fine. It was not difficult. Here Ding has to come up with a plan. There's so many moves. There's king f8, there's g5, knight h5, b5, multiple test answer here, and with multiple options. But he does find knight h5, which is the best move here. Wow, he finds knight h5. That is very, very good. Very good. Now it does trend towards a solid draw. Now the 88 cents is correct, by the way. Now 88 cents is correct, probably. Probably it's correct. Knight h5 is a very, very important move. Without knight h5, I think we could have had big fireworks. Now it's very likely headed towards a draw. Very likely. Very likely. Could Levy beat my wife? At this point, most likely. At her prime, I don't think so. She was a very, very good player in her prime. I mean, that would be a very close match, let's put it that way. He would not be a big favorite. But again, it's also a big clash of styles, because my wife's style is much more in the vein of like an Eric Rosen player, whereas like Levy's style is pure tactician. Polymarket laughing at Hikaru's face. I just said the odds were wrong. I said they're wrong at the time. That doesn't mean the game's not going to be a draw. I said it's still likely, a draw is more likely than not. So yeah, what I would say is that generally, like, Levy's style is much better in blitz games. Like his style, his tactical is great in blitz, not as good in classical chess. So anyway, would I play the World Rapid in blitz? I'll probably play it on my own terms, most likely. I would say it's probably one of the last events that I very likely I'll ever play that is organized by FIDE, I think. I'm just going to say that right now, but I probably will play. Yes, most likely. Anyway, let's see what we get here after knight h5, waiting for a move. Probably rook to e1. I mean, I'm so fed up with FIDE right now. They're impossible to deal with. So yeah. I'll still, I mean, that doesn't mean I won't play other events, but like FIDE organized events, like I just like, yeah, I'm not going to deal with them anymore. So, all right. Anyway, let's see what we get. World Cup and Grand Prix candidates. No, well, I mean, I didn't say I won't play other events. Don't forget there are other ways to qualify. I can do the Fabiano or Arjun route where I just play open tournaments and try to just hammer lower rated players. Like I can also try that path too. Don't forget about that. So anyway, where were we? Waiting for a move here from Gukesh. I expect knight f1 or rook e1. One of those two. Maybe b3 also is a move. Hammering words sounds so wrong as always. Aha. How often do I play chess off stream? Almost never. Almost never, actually. I would say that off stream, at least 50% of my time off stream is spent either trading the markets or looking at real estate. At least 50%. At least 50%. Why did I change my mind on take? Yeah, so you guys are asking about this. I've said this yesterday, I said it today. Basically, like I asked chess.com about it. I asked them and they were like, I asked them about it. Like, I'm like, okay, like, is it okay? Or the competition, what's going on? They're like, no, it's okay, you can do it. I mean, I asked chess.com, so like anyone who says that I'm greedy or something, like I mean, I'm not. I literally asked them. And I asked chess.com, like, I mean, like, I'm like, are they competition? Are they not competition? What's going on? And they're like, no, it's okay, you can do it. So like, if they're okay with it, it's like, well, I mean, I have to be an idiot not to. I mean, I have to be an idiot. So yeah, I asked them A. Yeah. Did you ask them? Yes. Yeah. I don't know. They didn't seem to have a problem with it. So any chance in a World Series of Poker main event run? I'm sure we could crowdfund 10K. I mean, actually, you know, I saw that Mariano, he posted a he followed the meme yesterday and posted on my YouTube video. The guy who plays on high stakes poker at the Hustler Casino in LA. I saw him post. I mean, I'm never opposed to it, but I'm going to be honest. The problem with poker is that I don't dislike it, but the main event is literally, I mean, like I played it before. The problem is that basically, like, you have either one or two ways of playing. Either you have to be a lunatic and play like Gus Hansen style, where you go where you start playing any two when the blinds are, when you're very deep, the stacks are deep, or you have to play, you know, the way that I normally play, which is pretty conservative. But if you play on the conservative side, mostly you're just sitting around waiting to get the big hand, and you're not playing that many pots, and then you're blinding down. You're somewhere around like 20 blinds, like I was at the end of day 2, and you go all in with kings and you lose, and you feel like, well, I just wasted 2 days, and why exactly did I do that? So maybe. I mean, I'll definitely go to Vegas next year at some point. I don't know when, but some point next year. And I go over the next candidates. Yes and no. I mean, I will probably play the minimal number of tournaments. I'll play like probably Grand Swiss and Grand Swiss and World Cup. If I don't make it that way, it's all going to come down to where my rating is. If my rating is good, I'll probably play a bunch of rinky-dink tournaments at the end of the year to try and get in. That's what I'll do. So that's pretty much what I'll do. I would say that most likely though, I do plan to play. I think I'll qualify. I do intend to play all the freestyle events though. My focus is going to be on freestyle in 2025. For anyone who's wondering, let me find the image, so I'll show you guys. Yeah, there we go. Open. Oh wait. How do I open this image? Can I really not open? How do I? Fine. whatever, I'll save it as a download. I'm sure I already have saved it as a download, but whatever. Yeah, I'll add it as an image. I don't have it on scene. Plus image, there we go. Browse, downloads, my downloads folder. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So this definitely is my first and foremost, my big focus. I'll put this over my face just so you guys can see it for a second. Which is a freestyle chess Grand Slam tour in 2025. I will play. I will be playing there. So I'll be playing it in Germany in February. I think that based on what I know, I probably qualify for every event. So I think I'll play it. A few days back, you said you don't think freestyle is that exciting, and now you're saying you'll play all the events. Yeah. So for anybody who's wondering why, I'll tell you exactly why. I'll tell you why. And this ties into actually why, like, I don't intend to play classical chess forever either. Like, when, you know, a lot of people ask me about, like, you know, like, you're still playing at 2800 level, why are you talking about retirement? Like, why don't you just keep playing? What I would say about it is really quite straightforward. What I would say is that basically, like, I have some skepticism about whether it can become a major thing, make no mistake about it. Wait, what is that? Oh, that's what that is. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, what I was gonna say is that I have some skepticism whether it can become like a mainstream thing, but you know, the market will decide. That's not for me to decide. Like, that's for the market. The chess market will decide whether it's a good thing, it's a great thing or not, or like investors or whatever. Like, they'll decide that. That's not my issue. But I would also say that, frankly, my attitude towards chess these days is that very little has changed from the pre-pandemic in some ways, where the chess world basically has not, like, very specifically FIDE has not adapted to how the landscape is different than it was before the pandemic. And I mean, just based on certain conversations I had with FIDE in the last month, I'll say, like, I'm just like, I just don't want to ever deal with them again. And so, like, in that case, it makes sense to go all in on the freestyle. Yeah, it's not about money. It's more that, like, I don't have time to deal with FIDE shit. Let me just say it. I'll just say it outright. I just don't have time to deal with FIDE shit. I don't have time to deal with them thinking they know everything and they like, they're super important and everything else. Let's leave it at that. I'm sure that's gonna get clipped. But basically, yeah, I don't have time to put up with that shit anymore. I really don't. Okay, so there you go. There you go. I'm sure that's gonna get clipped, and I don't care. So, you know, there's just so many little things, and it's always like a hassle. It's a pain. And with the freestyle stuff, like, it's like, you know, it's fun to be able to play and not have to deal with any of the nonsense. Dealing with nonsense is just like, I don't have the bandwidth for it anymore. I don't have the bandwidth. Yeah, I don't have the bandwidth to deal with it anymore. So, like, if I'm gonna play, like, I don't want to have to, like, it's dealing with, like, all these little things that are so stupid and insignificant versus just being able to play and do everything. It's just like, why bother? Kind of, why bother? And it's also why, like, as far as chess goes, like, the single biggest reason that I intend to retire within the next couple of years is for that exact reason. So, like, I don't have the bandwidth or the time to put up with the nonsense anymore. I don't have the bandwidth at this point. I don't. So and retiring from chess just means, like, I'll be like Vichy, by the way. For anyone who's wondering, I'll be like Vichy. Where I'll play my one tournament a year, keep my rating at 2800, and stay active till I'm 900 years old. So there you go. So yeah, keep speaking your mind. Us non-superficial people appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to forget when you go on the internet that, you know, the minority is literally the loud minority. They are still the minority. So yeah, but it's mostly I can't put up with the stupid nonsense. It's too stupid and insignificant. And I just can't deal with it anymore. It's too stupid. So anyway, back to the chess. Waiting for a move here from Gukesh. Now Gukesh is deep in the tank, which I'm actually a little bit surprised by. Yeah, I feel like you have a lot of privilege to say no to FIDE. Oh, I do. I mean, that's a large part of the problem. Like I've said before, the biggest problem in chess is that the economics basically, because there's not enough money in chess, it leads to a lot of problems across the board. And the biggest problem, in my opinion, is that basically the top players, with the exception of Magnus or myself, who basically make our money in other ways. Magnus, I think most of the money comes from, like, I don't want to say that selling Chess24 or selling Play Magnus Group, but let's just say sponsorship, for example. Magnus's sponsors, I believe, maybe not now, but at least in the past, were worth more than winning tournaments, or his prize money. For the vast majority of chess players, that's not the case. The way they make money is from prize money. So because they make money from prize money, they're stuck. They're stuck in a situation where they have no bargaining power. That's the problem. They have no bargaining power. So like FIDE can just basically tell them, can do whatever they want, and the players can't really say no, because if they say no, FIDE will be like, okay, we'll just have some other player come and play, and then you're not making money. So that's like that. The economics are the biggest problem. The economics are the biggest problem in chess, is that the players don't have bargaining power other than Magnus and myself. And so because of that, you end up in a situation where FIDE can do whatever they want. So, all right. We're on move number 15 here. Move 16. White's next move will be move number 16. So, well, I'll give you an example of nonsense. It's nonsense. I'll give you an example of just one little stupid thing. Okay, I was reading the regulations for the World Rapid and Blitz yesterday. I'm gonna sneeze 1 second. Excuse me. Do I say the same thing 5-7 times in a row? I do, and that's not because I'm autistic. That's because when you're trying to fill the dead air as a streamer and talk nonstop, you have something you have a thought that's stuck in your mind, and then your mind gets caught by the chat. So you have one thought in your mind, then it slips chat, then it goes back to the other one. So your mind is basically split over and over. So like one example is I was reading the regulations for the World Rapid and Blitz. This is a perfect example, and FIDE literally has something in there saying, like, you cannot have a sponsor that supports you. You can't show their logo. You have to get FIDE approved. You can't show it. So like, you know, if I'm sponsored by Lacoste and I go to a tournament, FIDE is going to be like, no, you can't do that. You have to do something for us. Like, the whole quid pro quo system is complete nonsense and outdated. It's literally like, you know, living in the mafia world or something, where like, you have to do this for us if you want to do that. And FIDE should have zero control over that. They should not be able to tell you what sponsors can support you. They shouldn't ever be able to do that. Fabiano had to deal with this too, and of course, basically what happened is that Fabiano and Anish, in order to show their sponsors, they had to do this stupid photo shoot. Yeah, of course. Or no, it wasn't Anish, it was Fabiano. You're right, or Vita. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, all this nonsense, like, that speaks volumes. Like, FIDE can't ever get sponsors, and then they're trying to, they either gonna say, well, you have to do this for us, or your sponsor has to give us a cut of the money in order for you to wear their logo. And that's just like, that's not how it should ever work. That's not how it should ever work. But again, why does it work that way? It works that way because FIDE sucks and they can't get sponsors. If FIDE could actually get real sponsors and everybody were making, like, let's say $2-3 million a year, then FIDE would be well within their rights to say these things. But FIDE gets no sponsor, and they act like they try to act like the NBA or something when they don't do anything for the players. That's the reality. That's the whole problem. It's like, you know, it's like if players were making millions of dollars and FIDE had sponsors, I would absolutely agree with 100%. I would. No, I would agree with it. It'd be like, okay, great, they're bringing the sponsors, all the players are getting paid, they're well within their rights to try and do these things. But they literally bring nothing to the players. All these players who go out and get sponsors, they have to go out and hustle themselves. Am I gonna get in trouble for saying that? Not a chance. So let's see what Gukesh plays. He's been thinking for a long time here. Probably rookie 1. I don't think FIDE can fix it because they're inept and they don't know how to get sponsors. So anyway, I expect rookie 1, maybe B3 will be played here. A4 is a weird move. Computer likes A4, I guess, because you want to go B3. I mean, why is it so good? Oh, really? This is actually good for white? maybe. This game is not dead. This game has been pretty exciting, actually. Even for a serious player like myself, this game has been exciting because there are a lot of options. Player-led chess league is the answer. Get it going. You never know. You never know, you guys. You never know. Did they put that in my CNN interview? Let me see. Let's see. Of course, I Google it and immediately I get sent to this slop site. I'm not going there. And also, you know what? By the way, speaking of the media, I'm not going to cover this article in depth. I love how like I get so annoyed. You know, it's amazing how the media, they always find a way to mess things up. Like I gave it like a really nice long interview, and what do? They literally go and they try to take the most salacious, controversial comment and put that as the title. Like the media is so like untrustworthy these days. It's unbelievable. Like I gave them like a 2 hour, not 2 hours, but like a 1 hour interview. Like I spoke about everything. And then what do? Instead of using like one of like the 30 normal things that I said, they have to go and try and take the most controversial thing. But I want to see if there was actually something in here. Old game, new audience. I want to see if there's something in here. Let me take this off. It's just really kind of stupid that they tried to take the most controversial comment. Like unbelievable. But I wanted to check, see if there was something. I want to see there's one thing I said there. Do they cut that out, or did they not even use that? I'm trying to see if they took the comment that I made about sorry, let me get back to the game. I'm trying to see if they took they actually put the comment in there that I made about something, or did they actually just conveniently leave that out because it didn't fit the narrative? Yeah, it's not in here. Of course it's not in here. They didn't put that in there. Of course I did make a comment about something that I'm doing in the future, but they of course didn't put it in there naturally. Yeah. Oh well, that's life. Okay, back to the game. We got rookie 1, king f8. I expected rookie 1. Now the question is, what will we get from Gukesh? Does Ding have a chance? I think it's unlikely, but there is one thing that could happen. If Ding can get a position where he's pushing P just to set up something like this, if he can get some position where he gets, I'm just gonna make a random move, where he starts being able to push P on the queen side and activate the pawns, he has chances. But he needs to be able to push P on the queen side and get the 2 Bs. No, I'm working on something though. I am working on something, you guys. I am working on something. Tell Elon to buy FIDE. That was funny actually. They asked me a question in that interview which I'd never heard before. I don't, maybe they're probably looking for some kind of controversial quote, but the interviewer, he said people in chess world compare you to Elon Musk, and I was kind of confused by that comment because I didn't really understand it, because I didn't think anybody said that, but it was pretty funny to hear. Let's see what we get here from Gukesh. I was just kind of confused by it. Knight f1 maybe makes sense. Controversial? Well, it's great when you can speak the truth because you're free from the matrix. Let's see what Gukesh does. Once you break free from the system, like or whatever, like and you're free to speak the truth, like yeah, things change. Let's see what Gukesh plays here. Knight f4, maybe bishop d8. Bishop d8's a weird move though. What's this do? I don't understand this line at all. It's just weird. Yeah. Probably knight f1. Probably knight f1 93. I would objectively prefer to be white here very slightly, but I don't know how I don't know how to play this. The more that I think about this, like I want to be white in this position, but I'm not convinced actually. Because like I feel like this should be better for white with the knight in the square, but the problem is after bishop e6, black's actually just rock solid here. Like you don't really have the great squares, and black is an obvious pawn push on the queen side. It's not so simple here. I mean, Ding shouldn't be able to win, but I could see a world where he has a chance to win. I could see it. Would you rather become world champion or world's richest man? That's a very easy answer. I'd much prefer to be the world's richest man, because then I could donate a ton of money to great causes for charity. That's a stupid question. Okay. That reminds me, actually, I need to make my donations for the year pretty soon. It's already December 1st. I need to go make my donations. I need to go make my donations. I haven't donated to the foundation yet this year. What's that? Donate to FIDE. Donate to FIDE, yeah. What do I donate? I've been donating every year to this group called the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation, mainly because of my mother. Yeah, so I've been donating to this I think I've donated like 4 years in a row. It's so dumb donating money. Well, I do it because my mom is basically like starving musician, and I'm a big fan of music. I will always donate to music. To music. I think music is the best thing in the world, actually. Donate $10. Yeah, I could. I definitely could. I don't know, do I show up on this list? I do. I do show up on this list, don't I? Yeah, I do show up on this list, yeah. Yeah, I've been donating every year for like since 2020. Ever since the boom and I started making more money, I've been donating every year. So yeah. I feel like Gukesh didn't expect knight h5. Yeah, true. Yeah, donation flex, yes, exactly. Yeah. So there you go. Yep. But I thought chess pays 0. Yes, exactly. There you go. Yeah. So anyway, back to chess because I'm done flexing. Let's keep going. I do need to remember to donate before the end of the year to them. Yeah. Oh, I don't see Hassan on this. Yeah. Why not learn to produce music? I would love to. Actually, I told you guys a story the other day, or I told some of you guys. Speaking of my wife, she started giving lessons to Quincy Jones, the famous music producer who passed on, unfortunately, about like 3 weeks ago. She started giving him lessons, I think, in like June of this year, and then unfortunately, she stopped giving lessons right before the U.S. Championship. But that got me reading a lot about him and everything he did, and it made me kind of more interested in music again. Actually, it made me more interested in music. So yeah, it's really sad because at the end of the U.S. Championship, like she wrote an email, she's like, I'm gonna be coming back to LA, like, you know, does he want lessons? And I think that they said no, and I think it's probably because, I mean, they knew that, I mean, they probably knew that the end was near, but still, yeah. Anyway, all right, okay, let's see what Gukesh does here. Still waiting for a move. I expect knight f1. Knight f1 is most likely the move. The move I expect. Anisha's way too confident in the lie detector video. You know, for everybody who's watching, since we're here in the real world and like people actually with brains are watching, versus like on these stupid internet threads and all that other crap. You know, I would say that I've said it before, as far as Anish goes, or top players, I've said it a million times, like the top players are psychos. You have to be a psycho. You have to have a certain mentality of insanity and thinking you're the greatest thing since sliced bread in order to be very, very good at the game. And Anish basically proves that there. Anish proves it. That is true. You have to have that mindset. And so like I always get annoyed when I see people like they're like, oh, chess is so gentleman, everyone's so proper and gentle, like acts like a gentleman, like, you know, and all this stuff. And then of course, like when people get angry, like myself or Magnus, there's always like, oh man, they're terrible, like you can't do that, that's not proper or appropriate. The fact is, in order to be very good at chess, you have to be psycho. And Anish basically proves it in that video. And so it's always funny to me how like all these things that I say, they're actually just the truth. and then like people try to pretend that it's, oh, I make it up for clicks and everything else, and then you see like a video with Anish and you actually realize that it's straight up true. I mean, you have to have a crazy amount of confidence. I mean, that's why the whole Kramnik thing happened, because Kramnik, like in his mind, he's the greatest player of all time. He's the greatest player. Nobody else compares. So that's why he can't accept losing to these lower rated players. So you have to be a psycho in order to be like that. Yeah, you have to be a little bit psycho. A little or a lot, I don't even know, but yeah. Have I seen Fabian on a 5 out of 5 in open despite everyone saying only Arjun could do it? I mean, it's not crazy at all. I mean, actually, it's not crazy at all, because even the schedule is very very favorable too. They're like it's like you get a big break between the rounds. I didn't realize there was such a long break. I thought it was like you play like half hour, 1 hour later, but it's quite a break. I mean, you basically have to have that dog in you. You have to have that dog in you. Arjun is not a psycho. Arjun completely is. If you looked at his games, have you seen the way he plays chess? Of course he is. Everyone is. Everyone is. You don't get to be that good without being like that. You don't get to be that good. And everybody who says Ding isn't like that, apparently you guys didn't see Ding's play when he was younger. Ding played some great tactical games. Like he used to play the King's Indian every game with black. Ding used to be a classic King's Indian player. He would attack like a maniac every game. He used to attack like a complete maniac every game. I mean, it's funny how people, they're like, oh, they've seen Ding in recent years. Ding used to be a great attacking player. I mean, it's just an amazing player. He had some great games at King's Indian. He had this game in the Nimzo Indian where I think he sacked a queen, his greatest game of all time. Like, yeah, you guys don't know what you're talking about. No, I mean, Ding was like a very very aggressive player when he was younger. Very aggressive player. Florida man calls #1 Dutch player psycho. I mean, all top players are psycho. Everyone's just trying to pretend and keep the internet crowd happy. Yeah. So anyway, let's see what we get here. Waiting for a move from Gukesh. I will say, someone made the comment that that Judith said this is not a Gukesh position. I actually agree with that. This does not feel like a Gukesh position at all. The way he's played this game, like, so I'm a little bit confused by this choice, actually. I mean, what people are going to say, of course, is like, you know, they're going to be like, oh, well, see, now Ding's choice, it doesn't matter that he didn't even try yesterday, because clearly he's getting in a good position with black. But whoa, okay. Well, now the game is going to heat up. The game is going to heat up. Let's go to Polymarket. Let's see. Let's go to Polymarket. It's 86%. If you bought the no at 14 cents or 15 cents earlier, you're feeling really good here. You're feeling really good. You're feeling really good about this. I don't think this, I think the chance of this being a draw just went down dramatically here. I'm not saying that that Ding is going to win, but the chance of a draw went down a lot, because now it's going to become imbalanced and everything's going to get messy here. So chances of somebody winning are much higher now. Much higher. Yeah, like knight f4, bishop g3, knight b6, g5. I mean, this is gonna get very messy now. It's still objectively, I think it still should be a draw, perfect play, but this changes the dynamics to where this is, the chance of this being just a nice, calm, slow draw just went out the window. The one thing I will say about Gukesh that I noticed though from the press game conferences, especially game 3, is that Gukesh, I feel like he's not being as objective as he was, as he usually is. Like, he thought he was just much better in game 3, and I feel like g4 is a little bit of over optimism on his part, where he's trying to go bishop g3 and he thinks he's better here. And that's one thing that I remember from the candidates that I did not notice, is I felt Ding was very robotic. Like, he wasn't like overestimating his chance. I think he might be slightly, he's starting to, I think, overestimate a little bit, but it's still, I mean, it's not a big deal, but I think he's starting to like become a little bit more optimistic than usual. You are a good guy. I don't care. I mean, we're all gonna die. As long as I can do something good for people with streaming, and you know, you get some entertainment and you enjoy your morning or your afternoon or your evening, wherever you are in the big wide world, that's all that really matters. Like we're all gonna die. All the people who want to yell nasty things on Reddit or on Twitter, like nobody cares. Nobody cares, you guys. Get a life. Just like you said, the Gukesh is a psycho trying to win. I mean, but here's a good example. This is a world championship match. Like Gukesh is going for it with a white piece. He's playing G4. He's going for it. He's going for it. Like this is going for it. Like computer might not love it, but he's going for it, and I actually like it. I like it. He's going for it. He's not sitting back and being like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna play like knight f1 and bishop g3, and we're gonna go la-di-da-di-da, takes, rook e8, and you know make some kind of boring draw, and then move on to the next day. Like he's not just making the boring draw. He's going for it. Hikaru, please, there are kids here. Okay. No, it's not actually about Reddit. It's also on YouTube. It's also on Twitter. It's everywhere. I've seen it everywhere. Reddit, I saw it on live stream fails recently. I was like, what's going on? What's wrong with people? But I saw it on YouTube yesterday, specifically on the press conference. Because the video was popping off on my second channel, so like I saw some comments and I was just like really confused. Yeah, I was really confused by it. No, I mean I saw it on YouTube yesterday specifically, and that's why I'm a little bit annoyed. I saw it on YouTube and I was just like, what the heck? Yeah. Yeah, I mean I saw it on YouTube yesterday and I was like, what the heck? I was just like really confused. Like, oh, get to the world championship first. You have no business saying anything. I was just like, what? Like what? Because that video, normally on the second channel, videos don't pop off like that, but it had like 60,000 yesterday when I looked at the press conference. Not like I need to shout it out, but big shout out to my second channel, more GMHikaru. For anyone who hasn't seen it, I do have 2 YouTube channels, so even if you already watched the first one, actually that's not the right link. Yeah, it's got 65k views, not bad. Let me mute the tab and I'll put the link here. Yeah, all right, you guys. Okay, I thought I muted the tab, apparently I didn't, but here's the video. That's on my second channel. So yeah, I saw some of the comments and I was like, what the heck is wrong with people? Do I like the comments? Usually I don't mind it, but it's like the amount of people who are saying stupid things like you shouldn't, you know, you lost, or you're salty, or you know, get to the world championship first, or Ding's a world champion, you're not for a reason, like all that nonsense. Like I'm giving an honest take from a chess perspective. There's nothing to do with like being salty about it. Like how can I be salty? How can I be salty about Ding or Gukesh? Like how can I be salty about that? Like I'm literally far more successful as a content creator than as a chess player, and making the world championship would only give me headaches from a general perspective. So like how can I be salty? I mean, it's just bizarre to see it. But I mean, I like the best one, like you know, you're not there, Ding's there, so you have no business saying anything. Like I love that comment, because like, I'm literally giving a general perspective of white games versus black games and how the match is going. It has nothing to do with anything other than that. Anyway, but it's easy to say those things when you don't have to show your face either, which is pretty funny too. You are salty, brought up the content creator thing then? Yes. Very salty. Very salty. Anyway, all right. Knight f4, bishop g3 almost certainly will be played here. If he doesn't go knight f4, Gukesh is, I'm going to make a bold prediction. If we don't get knight f4, if we get knight f6 somehow and Gukesh gets to go g5, I think he's going to win this game. I think he's going to win this game. I'm going to be honest. If we get knight f6 g5, he's going to win. This is also a good example of, again, computer versus human, because you're walking into a pin here, and as a human it looks very scary to walk into this pin. How much of those comments affect streamers? The problem is, and I don't know if psychologists have studied this phenomenon, but basically whether it's like a live stream, a video, or anything else, you get influenced by the one negative comment versus like all the positive comments. Like in a live stream, like it doesn't matter who the streamer is, like you always get much more affected by the one really ridiculous comment than like a bunch of positive comments. It happens to everybody. It happens to everybody, and I'm sure there's a reason for that. The brain tends to remember negativity more than positivity. Okay. No, but it happens that, I mean, every streamer said this. Every streamer has said it. Someone was also saying, why do you bring up the content creator 5 minutes? I bring it up because my success there means that it's very hard to really be jealous about anything that happens in chess. I mean, why would I be jealous when I'm so successful in content creation? If I were a pro chess player, however, you would probably be right that you would probably be right about potentially being salty. You'd probably be right about that, because like if someone else is there and I'm not, then like yes, it's a direct correlation. It's a direct correlation as a pro player. You're actually not wrong. You're actually not wrong there. If I were a pro player, I would agree with that. See, if I were making all my income as a player, I probably should be salty. I should be upset. I should be. So anyway, waiting for a move here. Let's see, knight f4 or what else? I mean, knight f6 g5. I mean, I'm already a little bit scared here. I'm a little bit scared here. I'm a little bit scared here if we get knight f6. Knight f4, bishop g3. Why don't you buy the camera rights? The only successful streamer. Are you baiting me, or are you baiting me or not? I mean, like I mean, I can't find the Anish tweet. Let me see. Let me find the Anish tweet. Okay, here's the Anish tweet, by the way. I found it. That's good that I could Google it. Like, here's the Anish tweet, okay? There's a tweet from Anish Giri here, and it says, let me pause the music for a second. It says, become the Anish Giri Media Corp broadcasting partner for the World Championship match. What you pay, $100,000. What you get: my friendship, live broadcast with cameras on the most prestigious chess YouTube channel, Anish Giri Official, whatever else you want, pretty much. So I'll break this down to plain English, okay? Was knight f4 played? Knight f4 was played, by the way. I'll break this down to plain English for anyone who doesn't understand what this means. What this means is that basically Anish had to pay FIDE $100,000 in order to get the cam rights. Basically, Anish was gonna have to pay FIDE $100,000 in order to get the cameras, to show the cameras for the World Championship. And so he's hoping that he'd be able to find a sponsor who could give him $100,000 so he could pay FIDE to show the camera. So first of all, that's why obviously I'm not showing them. But then secondly, the fact that FIDE thinks that those are worth $100,000 speaks volumes about how out of touch with reality they are. Why would FIDE do this? Because they're well, I mean, I will be fair. This World Championship, unlike previous ones, there is an argument for them wanting people to pay because they do have Google as a sponsor of the broadcast. So because of that, like, the dynamics are a little bit different, but nonetheless, $100,000, like, I mean, again, $100,000 is a joke. I mean, it's just simply a flat out a joke. It shows how FIDE does not understand monetization or the online site. Yeah, and Anish's channel isn't even that big. Yeah, so imagine what they wanted originally from Cigar, what they would want me to pay. Like, I think that says it all. But anyway, let's get back to the game, and let's put the music on. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point. Like, I mean, the fact that they think that people are making $100,000 from live streams is comical. Cigar could have 300,000 watching every game, and he's not making $100,000. He could have 300,000 Indians watching every single game, and because of the monetization, he's not making $100,000, and that's with like the maximum Indian audience and everything else. So it's just it's funny. You take Anish Humor too seriously. He's joking. He's not joking, because Anish also made a tweet. He wrote a tweet toward Ed Satovsky asking about the exact topic before then. So no, you're wrong, actually. No, he made a tweet before. It's not a joke, because he made a tweet at Satovsky. He basically made a tweet asking Satovsky how much for the cameras on his Twitter. So that's why it's not a joke, actually. It's not a joke. Why I turn the bar off? Because I kind of don't want to look with the bar at the moment. His tweets have no value. Well, you also never know what Anish said to me in DMs. You never know what Anish said to me in DMs separately. Of course, I will never share those, but you know, I mean, that's besides what he said to me in DMs. So, yeah. Anyway, we get bishop g3. Let's see what Ding is going to play here. Bishop g3 as expected. I'll put the bar back on for you guys, because you probably want to see it. Yeah, you want to see the bar. Okay. I mean, I'm surprised here that this is I speak fairly often. I mean, anytime I see Fabiano, like, I talk to him, or anytime I see Anish, like, of course I talk to Anish. No, Anish, Vida, and myself, we took it when we went to the poker night in London. We took a taxi together, so we spoke quite a bit. Yeah. Knight b6 top move played. Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a take here. I think that Gukesh is getting a little bit too optimistic here. Chess.com paid 50% to FIDE for Cigar's stream. I didn't know that. Okay, nice, good for them. I think Gukesh is getting a little bit too optimistic here. London taxes are expensive. It's not about taxes being expensive. It's about the fact that yeah, of course we talk. So yeah, Knight b6 is the best one. I think Gukesh is getting a little bit too optimistic here about his position. It reminds me of game 3 where like if you listen to the press conference, he said he thought he was better the whole way. He thought the whole plan with with e4 with the big white center was a big advantage the whole game. And I think this is another example where he might be getting a little bit too overconfident, or he's sort of becoming, he's misevaluating the positions a little bit. He's not being objective about it, I think, and he's getting into a little bit of trouble now. Like one of the hallmarks of Arjun and Gukesh specifically, more so than Prague actually, I thought, was that I felt that both of them are extremely objective about the positions, whereas I felt that Prague was a little bit too optimistic. So I actually am getting the sense, I mean, it's not as over anything, but I think that Gukesh thinks he's much better here when it's actually still very close to even. That's actually the problem, I think. Surely as a chess streamer, paying FIDE for the stream would be tax deductible, not for you specifically, but for the streamers who make their job in general. Maybe, but I mean, 100 grand. I mean, very few streamers make that much in a year. I mean, like, yeah. So, anyway, all right. Let's see what Gukesh plays here. Probably G5 or no, Bishop F4 is stupid. Knight E5 maybe is the other move. Does Knight E5 hang a pawn though? Knight G6? Oh wait, no, there's a bishop on C2. What am I doing? But there is Knight H3 or Knight D3. Knight H3 King G2 probably is bad. Knight D3 takes. Actually, Knight C4 is a big threat. See, what's the bar say? Oh, this actually is bad. Oh, bad is relative term. But there is Knight A4 also to hit the juicers. Hard to judge. XQC makes 2 to 300k daily. That's crazy comparable. XQC is like the largest streamer in the world, at least from a money perspective. I mean, XQC has to be the highest paid streamer in the world. Even Kai, I mean, even with what Kai is doing, I mean, on Twitch, having an idea of how ads work and the monetization, I mean, XQC has to be higher than Kai. He has to be higher than Kai. Speed, I have no idea, because I don't know how I have no idea how the YouTube monetization works. I'll probably find out in the future how it works, but I have no idea how it works. Sorry, H, I just canceled my Twitch sub. I was a 3-year sub. You just don't go there much. Create a new account here tonight. I still stream Tuesdays. Every Tuesday I stream the morning title Tuesday on Twitch. I mean, I stream every title Tuesday on Twitch. So anyway, so let's see what Gukesh plays here. G5 or Knight E5, I think, are the only 2 moves. It doesn't matter if XQC is not top 5. He has a massive contract that he was paid 100 million to go stream on Kick, and also he did it when Bitcoin was low, and I think he gets paid in Bitcoin. So I mean, he's probably raking it in like insanely. I mean, Speed is definitely, Speed is definitely the best streamer in the world right now. It's not even close. Not even close in my opinion. Let's see what Gukesh is going to play here. Waiting for a move. Kai is huge. Kai is huge. Kai is huge, and what he does is great too. But I find his content a little bit too edgy. Like it's a little bit too weird to me. A little bit too weird. I don't actually love it. Like Speed acts crazy, but I find it highly entertaining. Maybe not. No, Knight F1 hangs Bishop G4. What am I smoking? Bishop f5 maybe a move. Maybe bishop f5 is also a move here, but actually after takes rook d8, what's the point there? I mean, you're still, the knight's coming to d3. Do I watch Hassan? You watch Hassan? Do you agree with him politically? I find Hassan highly entertaining for the most part. I mean, some of the stuff he said in the past couple of months, before that I was a much bigger fan of him than I am now, but we'll leave it at that. You have more chance to go on Kai stream than Speed. Actually, I probably have a better chance to go on Speed stream. Probably a much better chance because Speed has played chess. He definitely knows who I am, and he's also played some chess. Would I go on Joe Rogan? Of course I would. I'd go on there in a heartbeat. Anyway, both players have an hour. It's still it's very slow, very eh. I get asked about Joe Rogan daily. I think because there was a clip where Coleman Hughes spoke about me and Joe Rogan said he would have me on. He'd love to have me on a show or something. That's why I think I mean I get that question every day. How can you like Elon and Hassan? Both are terrible people. I can tell you something different, you guys. Let me give you this is a real hot take for the day. Let me give you a hot take for the day. Why do we idolize I'm not gonna say who, but I heard recently from someone that a lot of NBA players believe that the world is flat. How can we idolize people who believe in something that is 100% fake? Why do we put these people on pedestals and idolize them? Let me turn it around. Like a good chunk of basketball players believe the world is flat. And the basketball is round, just so you know. Basketball is round. Anyway, there's my actual hot take of the day. Let's see what Ding plays here. I mean, I know the computer likes black's position, but I'm not convinced this is good for black yet. I mean, I guess it's good because there's gonna be f6, right? There's f6 here, but knight e3 and rook e8. Messy. Wait, knight e4? This is okay. I mean, this is gonna get very sharp, you guys. It's gonna get very sharp very soon. H5 apparently the only move here, by the way. The only move. Chess players are egotistical, especially Hikaru. Thank you for telling me that. Thank you for telling me that. That's exactly why I'm a better chess player now, is because I'm not a psycho like I once was. So thank you for the comment. Thank you for that comment, as always. Much love. Yeah. That's literally the reason. It's like, because like I no longer really care what everyone else is doing in chess. I don't lose my mind when someone else, you know, who's higher rated has a great tournament. Like, that's exactly the whole point. I don't lose my mind at all. Yeah. Like, I mean, I couldn't care less. Once you find something better in life, it's like you just I don't want to use the phrase again because I've said that phrase 50 times about not caring, but yeah, like it's like, well, once you find something and you're successful at it and you don't have to worry about, like, you know, being one of the dogs, you know, chasing after all the scraps on the floor, i.e., you know, having to worry about making a living as a chess player, like, you just stop worrying about all those things. I mean, you really just stop worrying about those things. Okay. And then it takes all the pressure off, and then it's like, it's so much easier to actually play good chess. That's the irony. Polymarket? It's still 85. Is this really 85% draw still? I mean, it's still likely to be a draw, but 85% seems too high. Anish doesn't believe it. Yeah, because Anish thinks that I think I'm still a pro player, I think, which is pretty funny. I mean, there are things that I care about, but as far as chess goes, definitely not. I mean, I care much more about when a stock goes down than I care about chess. Yeah, I care much more. Like if a stock goes down, I'm gonna be unhappy about that. That'll be much more on my mind than anything chess related or stream related, because there it actually has an impact. Like if I make a mistake, it has an impact. If I make a mistake in a chess game, who really cares? Like it has no impact whatsoever on anything anymore. But yes, I would say that I care about that. I definitely care about that. No, of course I get unhappy. I mean, when I'm in a competition, of course I get unhappy. Like, of course I still want to play well. But the overall picture is very different. Fabio has a wild game today. I don't know who Fabio's playing. Yeah, Fabian is playing open. He's been doing well. He's been beating up on the low-rated players, and yeah, it's good for him. I mean, everyone has the option to do it. It's just a question of whether you can do it. That's always the question. And so far, Fabian has proven that he can. His game against Burke was a little bit shaky, but my general view is that there's a lot of psychology when you play these guys. They're definitely scared of the top players, and the longer you keep the game going, eventually they're going to make a mistake. They're going to make a mistake. Like the top players, basically the players just can't keep it together for a whole game. That's really the only major difference. It's not that they can't play well, but they can't keep it together for a whole game. Eventually they get nervous and they make a blunder somewhere. Although some tournaments are also much more favorable too. Like I would say that the tournament Fabian is playing is much more favorable than an open like in Europe, because actually all those dangerous Indian kids aren't in that event. Like whenever you go to like Sitges or like the Qatar Masters or those events are much more dangerous because of all the Indian kids who are like underrated, who are very, very good. So not all open tournaments are created equal either, which is like kind of the trick too. Like, and I said this in regards to Levy as well, actually. Like if Levy finds the right tournaments to play, he can potentially get to GM. If he finds the right events with no Indian kids, none of these underrated players, like he finds the soft events where everybody's like 30 years old, he could potentially get to he could make GM norms and get to GM. But if you play the wrong open tournaments, and you have a bunch of Indian kids who are 2400 when they're actually like 2550, you're gonna get screwed over. So it's like it's not all opens are created equal. You have to find the right tournament where you don't have the underrated dangerous players. Did I say that? Yeah, I said that to Levy. You don't want to play the tournaments where you have people who are under 20 years old, basically. Because anybody under 20 years old has the potential to be underrated by a couple hundred points, especially in the post-pandemic world. So you basically want to play tournaments where like there are no kids at all. No kids. Doesn't matter Indian or otherwise. No kids. No Turkish kids. No Indian kids. No Iranian kids. No kids at all. That's what you want to do. You want to find the tournament. Actually, in Charlotte, they aren't there. So Fabian has picked very wisely, and he's off to a great start in that event. The US kids are not the same. The US kids, like I don't want to be really negative about the US, but I've seen the kids in the US and I'm not inspired. Like Andy Woodward is decent, but I mean, I would say in general, I'm not impressed. Mishra is completely stalled out. Mishra, of course, very talented, but he's completely stalled out around 2600. Like completely stalled. There should be some, so what, knight f3, probably knight 3 f6. Is this a draw or not is what I'm not sure about, because there's a little wrinkle here. Like rook e8, there's a wrinkle with bishop c1 and bishop e2 to hit the juicers. I don't know how bad this is. The game is heating up though, so I'm going to talk more about it. You're right. Knight f1. Knight f1 is the computer move to go knight e3. I think knight f1 and probably Gukesh is very safe here still, because if f6 you go knight f3 and then knight e3, like g5 knight e3. Now the knight's jumping. There's h4 with a hook as well to hit the pawns. So white's probably okay here. So if not f6 to kick the knight, then what can black do? Rook e8 maybe to try and force a draw, maybe. Yeah, probably. I mean, if we get this endgame, this probably is going to be a draw. And I think this is actually very likely. If we get knight f1, we'll get rook e8. La partita sta diventando intensa, ma secondo me finirà lo stesso in una patta. Più o meno, più o meno. Comunque è una posizione interessante. E quindi ci vediamo. Che mossa? In questo momento penso cavallo per f1, cavallo f1, cavallo e3. Non lo so. Non lo so. Inglese, una lingua bella, però tutti gli americani sono pazzi, quindi preferisco farlo in questa lingua in questo momento. Grazie mille. Okay, yeah, yes. I don't think most people understood what I was saying, but I was making a joke too, making a little bit of joke. Yeah, okay. Stop yapping. Yes, exactly. I mean, I've forgotten a lot of it, but I still remember some. You want the hand gesture game? Hand gesture's not there. Yes, thank you. But let's see. Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually spoken Italian in God knows how long, but I still remember some of it. Farsi is a little bit harder. No, my Farsi's not really there. I would say, what's it? Farsi yakame baladam. Merci. Okay. Anyway, all right. Can we get knight f3 played here? Maybe knight e5. Knight e5. This is apparently a mistake. So bishop a4. Well, mistake's too strong of a word, but bishop a4. I think we're gonna get rook e8 and we're headed for a draw here. By the way, I think we're headed for a draw. Tavalo. Yes, exactly. Tavalo Mubarak. Yeah, okay, thank you. Oh yeah, should I sing happy birthday to Magnus in Farsi? By the way, for anyone who's wondering, merci is actually thank you in Farsi, just like in French. But anyway, yeah, like I'm not speaking French. It's actually the same word, which it makes sense why Ali Reza went to France, because if they speak the same language, the same words, why not? What I don't understand with Farsi though is like linguistically why the word for truck is camion. Like I didn't think camion obviously is Spanish. Like I didn't think there was a Spanish influence with that part of the world. Like that's actually why are there Spanish words in Farsi? Maybe someone knows. It's camion. It's like yeah, but Arabic and Farsi are not part of the Romance languages. Okay, everyone says camion. Okay, I actually didn't. Oh, camion in Bulgarian and Serbian. I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know that it was actually a word in every language. Never mind. So it's like ananas. It's the same thing as ananas. Okay, so it's the same thing. So it's like ananas because everybody in the world says ananas, and here in America, because we're the best, we say pineapple. Okay, it's the exact same thing. Yeah, exact same thing. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Here in America, we say truck. What's camion? Nobody cares. And everybody says ananas. Screw them. We say pineapple. Okay. Okay. All right. Waiting for a move here. I expect rook e8 and a draw, by the way. Truth be told, I expect rook e8. Maybe knight e5 is a move here, perhaps to keep the game going. But I expect rook e8 a trade and a draw. That's my prediction here. Although rook e8, I mean, is knight e5 okay? I mean, I'm trying to look at this without thinking about the computer perspective. Maybe it's not so easy, but this... But I mean, even this. Nah. I think we're gonna get a draw pretty soon. I think we're gonna get rook e8 and a draw. I think Ding here is gonna be very happy to draw with black, and in this case he should be, since he has the black pieces. I think we'll get rook e8 here. I think we'll get rook e8 and a draw. I don't think we'll get rook d8. It's too dank. It allows knight e5 here. If we get bishop a4, I will be majorly impressed. It's not a natural human move to me. I mean, you got bishop e1 and rook d8. I mean, bishop a4 is such a ridiculous computer move. No human should play it. I think we'll get rook e8. Based on the match strategy, Ding has to be happy with a draw with black, so I think he'll play rook e8. I mean, bishop a4 b3. Yeah, why is this good? Could you go bishop? It's just stupid computer nonsense. No, just no. We'll get rook e8. And I expect a draw. My bold prediction is rook e8 and we get a quick draw, and then I can go back to bed for 5 hours before I play bullet brawl. Bishop a4 is not, it's not, the move isn't findable, but after b3 to play bishop b5, keep this pin in play, it just doesn't really make much sense to me. Do I think Ding can be 2800 ever again? No. I actually would tell you guys that I'm very proud of my 2800 rating currently versus before, because I think 2800 nowadays means a lot more than it meant back in 2015. Bishop a4 is definitely findable, but I think rook e8 is what's going to be played. I think rook e8 is what we'll get here. That's my prediction. How good was Emery Tate? He was a fairly decent player. He was an IM. I mean, of course, like most players from that generation, you know, a starving artist, for lack of a better way of putting it. So I would say that, I mean, he was a good player. Not quite grandmaster level, but a very respectable player. Very respectable. I expect rook e8 here. That's my prediction, rook e8. Do I think Alireza will overtake Magnus, the #1 blitz player, being only 90 points away? I don't know when he will, but eventually he will. Fabian is farming Charlotte. I'm aware of that, you guys. I'm aware of that. But he's not farming on purpose. He's playing because he's trying to qualify for the candidates. That's why it's not about farming. Last time I consider myself a pro player, I mean, realistically, the last time was 2019 when I played the last tournament that I played before the pandemic. That would have been the FIDE Grand Prix in Hamburger, Germany. When I played the FIDE Grand Prix in Hamburger, that was the last time I considered myself a pro player. So yep, basically that was like the last time I played as a professional player, and the pandemic happened and the world was never the same. Yep, different world, different lifetime ago. By the way, it's Hamburger at the end. Yeah, I know it's Hamburger, Germany. I know, that's where the hamburger is from. I always thought it was funny, by the way, how the name is hamburger when of course it's ground beef. Or yeah, like, I mean, like, or not ground beef, but it's beef. Why do we call it a hamburger when it's beef? I always thought that was very funny. It's not ham. I always thought it was funny that we call it a hamburger when it's not ham. I mean, I always thought that was very funny. Because it's from hamburger, exactly. Yeah, I guess it's just funny. It's just funny. I mean, it's like beef. It's a burger made of beef. It's just like, why do we call? Oh, we get rook e8. Look who knows what they're talking about. Even though everyone on the internet thinks I'm an idiot. Of course, as usual, I'm right. Rook e8 played. Yeah, this is not gonna be a long game, you guys. This is not gonna be a long game. So I guess I'll go get some crackers. I'll get a few crackers and I'll be back in a second. And then we're gonna do our recap. Okay, 93. Mistake. Why is it so bad, by the way? Oh, you've got 95 at the end, don't you? You have 95. You've got D95. Oh, oi. Let's go back here. Oh, and down it goes. Down the odds go, you guys. There you go. Down go the odds of a draw. I kind of told you guys though, didn't I tell you guys something? I said earlier that I'm feeling like Gukesh is losing the objectivity. He's becoming too optimistic. He's becoming a little bit too optimistic, which is one thing that, like I said before, I really admired in him, with him and Arjun, is I've always felt they've been very, very objective versus Prag, who's usually the wild one, who seems to have more of a sense that he has an advantage in games. And like I definitely sensed in the third game where Gukesh was saying he thought it was a very clean, smooth game that he won when it was anything but. In fact, it was actually worse in that game for a second. So I think that Gukesh is losing his objectivity just a little bit. Yeah, he's losing his objectivity, and he's in trouble here. I'm gonna be honest, he's in trouble here. There's a very good chance that Ding wins this game, in my opinion, because I think taking and going bishop f4 is very unlikely here. And knight a4 is very easy, obvious move to hit the pawns. Rook b1, and now like rook e6. I mean, this is getting very scary suddenly. This is getting very scary. And it comes back to what I was saying, where I feel like Gukesh, he's becoming a little bit too optimistic here. He's becoming too optimistic. And I think he's also probably underestimating Ding a little bit as well. No, this has real danger written all over it, by the way. There's real danger here. As a noob, it's so confusing when the consensus goes from like 95% draw to losing. Yes, the reason for that is because basically people look at the eval bar, which is effectively 3500 level chess, and nobody can play at that level. Like, I mean, I say this over and over, and many people, I think, even when I say it, they don't realize perspective. But like, if you look at Magnus Carlsen or myself, like, we're great human players, Fabiano, of course, as well, just so someone doesn't think I'm just like trying to make fun of him. But if you look at us, we're great players, but we are like 800 points lower rated than the best computer programs. We literally understand nothing compared to computers. We're that terrible at chess. And so when you see the computer, you see the valuation bar. The problem is that, you know, you're getting like the view as a 3500. So a lot of the moves and the things it says, I can't emulate. Fabiano, Magnus, none of us can emulate. We can't play at that level. So you end up with a perspective of a game that can never happen at the human level. Not never, I should say, because some positions are that simple and easy to play, but generally there are mistakes that can happen. And that's the problem with the eval bar. And unless you can change it, Magnus Carlsen trash. Of course Magnus is trash. He's like 2800 compared to like Stockfish, which is like 3800. He's a beginner. He doesn't understand anything about chess. He should just quit and get a life. So that's kind of the thing though, is like you're seeing something that is not from the human perspective. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. That's kind of the problem. So like you see, you're like, oh my god, what a blunder, what a horrible move. But we can't play at that level as humans, so you're seeing something that's just fake. Insulting the birthday boy. Yes, exactly. No, I mean, I think Gukesh is in serious trouble here. I think if I were betting, I would probably bet on a Ding win, because Ding's moves are too easy. Knight c4, knight a4, rook e6. I think high chance we get b3. I mean, no, he'll actually realize it's losing, but if you can't go b3 with knight a4 coming, rook e6, rook g6, rook b6, Ding's moves are too easy here. Ding's moves are too easy. Gukesh is going to get into time pressure here as well. Gukesh is going to get into time pressure now. I'm going to make a bold prediction that I think Ding is going to win this game. I think Ding is going to win this game. That's my prediction. I think his moves are too easy here. His moves are too easy. Knight a4, knight c4. I mean, bishop f4 to me, not an obvious move. Like, this is really bad, isn't this? Like, here you're supposed to go h4, ignoring the pawn. Very hard to play. Like, this is starting to get very dangerous. You're actually losing here. You're actually in really, really bad shape. Like f3 and there's d4 or something, right? No, not d4. I thought d4 takes in rook c8. Oh, f6 and rook e2 like this. Yeah, no, this is very dangerous, because Ding's moves are not hard. Ding's moves are very easy to play here. No, this is very scary. And now if you'd bought the no at 15 cents, you could cash it out bigly here. Yeah, if you had bought the no, oh man, you see, you could have got your 100% return just like that. You could have got your 100% return. Yep, you could have got your 100% return. No, I mean, this is horribly scary. This is horribly scary. I mean, I think I think I would lose this position probably. I think I'd lose this position 80% if I were white against Magnus. I think I would lose this 80%. It was at 88 cents early, but it was in a position, like I said, that was not that straightforward. No, I'm really scared. I think I would lose this position against Magnus or probably Fabiano as well with white. Well, I think people enjoy hearing about what the markets are saying. I mean, I'm not betting obviously, but I think I can't bet. I'm in America, but I think people enjoy hearing about it. No, I said the 88 cents was too high. You should bet against a draw. That's what I said. No, I think this is really scary. Really scary. I'm really scared here. I'm really scared. I mean, it's not different than the stock market. It's all the same jazz. Just different topic, but it's all the same. I mean, it's the exact same as the market. Same thing. No, I mean, I really am scared here for Gukesh. I'm really scared here. And the reason I'm really scared is because even as it's still well within the realm of draw, you have to be precise here and unable to play b3 knight a4 knight c4 here. I don't look at Gukesh as being, he's a good defender, but he's not like an elite defender. He's not an elite defender. This is not his game to defend this sort of position. I'd be worried here. I'd be worried playing with white if I'm anybody. I mean, if I have white here against anybody who's top 10, I'm deeply concerned. I think I'm probably losing this game with white. Who's an elite defender? I know why you asked that. I know why you asked that. You want me to say something? You want me to say something, and then someone's gonna clip it, and then like everyone's gonna yell at me on the internet again. But it's like I said, actually, like I think it's funny in a way, because I think that what Ding has done very well is somehow he's made Gukesh lose his objectivity and maybe think that he's not trying or something. It's very weird. I'm surprised that you know my mother language, Persian. Why wouldn't I? I'm married to someone who's from Iran. What kind of weird question is that? But what I was gonna say is that basically I feel like somehow Ding has lured Gukesh in a sense of like false optimism or something. I don't know how to explain it, but like I just seeing that like game 3 presser, I didn't think about it much at the time, but now that I think about it more, he's somehow lulled him to sleep. He's become too I don't know, he's become too like confident or complacent or like all these things at the same time. It's like false security. I don't know how to explain it, but somehow he's succeeded. And game 3 was a good example where like I really think that Gukesh was way too optimistic. He basically thought this whole f3, but was it f3 bishop f2 e4? He thought he was just much better. Big white center, 2 bishops on f2 and f1. He thought he was much better. Now he did go on to win that game, obviously, but I think I got the sense he was not objective there, and I think it's gotten worse. Maybe he's faking maybe like Ding is faking pessimism. He's being overly pessimistic on purpose. Yeah, I mean maybe that's what it is, but I'm gonna be honest. I think if I were playing with white here against any top 10 player, like, you know who I also think I'd get smoked by Ali Reza if I were white here too. Like, I'd be very, very worried here. I think we're looking too much into engines. It's not that easy OTB. No, I disagree. I think the problem here is that Gukesh's path to trying to save the game is not human, and Ding's moves to try and win the game are very human. That's exactly the problem. Knight a4 is super obvious. b3, rook c8, rook c1, d4, c4, knight d5, very obvious. So if you can't go I mean, but you have to take. You can't. You go rook b1, there's knight e5. I mean, you're just down a pawn. And if you take and you can't go b3, knight a4 is instant. Rook e6, rook b6, or rook g6, lifting your rooks, brah. I mean, this is all very basic. This is so simple. This is very scary. No, it's more that Gukesh's moves here are not human, and Ding's moves are superhuman. Has your opening preparation reduced significantly after you started streaming? I mean, I'm not a professional chess player, so of course it has. I don't study chess anymore. I just say thank you to Chessable, thank you to all the grandmasters who put their work out there for basically pennies on the dollar, and I'm very happy. There's the answer. Of course I don't study chess anymore. I'm just thankful to all the grandmasters who are trying to make money making these Chessable courses, and basically, if I'm being honest, they're putting their work out there for pennies on the dollar. They shouldn't be doing it, honestly. They could do better saving that for giving that to other people. They could. I'm not joking, they could. We're not skipping Bullet Brawl today. No, I mean, some of the courses I see there, I'm thinking to myself, like, what are these guys doing? Like, they're literally putting stuff out there for like $50 or $100 in the case of Anish, I think it is. Like, they're literally putting stuff out there for pennies on the dollar. Like, if they saved that and they were a second for something for a match, they could probably make 10 grand or 20 grand at least. Yeah, like, I'm not joking when I say that. Elitist way of thinking, I must say. What's elitist about it? No, I'm just saying that I don't think they're being rewarded the way they should be for the hard work they do. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're not being rewarded the way they should be. I mean, don't forget that I have played chess seriously. Like, I have. Like, I mean, I know what good quality, like serious top level chess quality looks like. And they're not being rewarded the way they should be. And I mean, you can say that's the way the market is. Chess is like everybody's poor and whatever else, but I still find it sad on some level. I do find it sad. I mean, white can draw us with perfect play, but I'm not feeling good. I think we're gonna have a long game here, by the way. I think we're gonna have a long game here. I think we're gonna have a long game. And I think Ding is likely gonna win. Average salary of a random GM, very low. It's not so much that it's low, it's probably like 50, 60 grand. But it probably also, the problem with that is that most of them have to resort to teaching chess. No, it's very sad. It's very sad. Yeah, now it's time to be afraid. Be very afraid here. Be very afraid. Be very afraid here. We're on move 24. I mean, this is still holdable, but this is, yeah, Gukesh looks stressed. He should look stressed. He knows he's messed this up, seriously. And he doesn't have a safe. He doesn't have the safe. There's no bailout here from the US government in this position. There's no bailout to make the draw. He's in real trouble here. It's opposite color bishops, which if it was pure opposite color bishops would give him drawing chances, but here opposite color bishops are bad. Very bad. I'm not rooting for either player in this match. I think for chess it's better if Gukesh wins, but I would be plenty happy to see Ding win as well. Nihal won the President's Cup. Your thoughts? He's back in form. I am so happy to see Nihal win a tournament. I mean, he's someone who has had great potential for so long. I think people forget, but at some point he was higher rated than Prag, Gukesh, and Arjun. He was the future of Indian chess, and all three of them went zipping past him like Optimus Prime. But I think that he's finally trying, and hopefully he can break through, because I've always been a big fan of Nihal. I've always wanted to see him do well, and I really hope that he can get it done. How's the US government connected? They aren't. I'm making a joke about bailouts. I'm just saying that basically what you want is, normally you want to have some control. You want to have some control in this position where you basically you can bail out and make a draw. Like I'll give you an example. So like one thing, the reason that you want to play for a 2-result game where you can draw or you can win is because you can always bail out. So like until Gukesh went g4, like here's an example. If you go knight f1 g5 bishop g3, if you ever feel like you're in danger here with white, you go knight f5 and instantly the game is killed and it's going to be a draw. So you always want to be able to kill the game. You want to have that bailout. You want to have the safety hatch escape. always there. And now Gukesh does not have the safety. He does not have the safety valve of the escape. Now knight a4 is coming, and this is getting scary. What ballot did the US government do? I guess apparently chat was not alive in 2008. Knight a4 will be played almost for sure here by Ding. One of your candidates games, you had a bailout option. I did notice that. If you're playing with white, like in black, you can't control as much. With white, generally you always want to have the safety. You want to have the safety valve. You want to have the escape. Knight c4 is not a bad move, but now the opposite color bishop. Shouldn't this be a draw? Oh, apparently this is winning. Really? No, winning's maybe two. Oh, because now the bishop's going to sneak in from behind. Oh, this is actually very dangerous. You have to if rook e4 is the only way to, but rook e4 activates the rook. You got kind of your own like sunray or wooden this is a draw. Yeah, I mean this is okay. I mean Gukesh is gonna have to show really good nerves here. I think he's gonna have to show good nerves here. He's gonna have to show very good nerves here. I don't like knight c4 because I think knight c4 takes and rook e4 is, it's tough to play, but it's not impossible to put the rook on the open file. But yeah, Gukesh for the first time in the match, because game one he got a bad position and I mean it was just hard to play, but for the first time in the match he's a little bit worse here and he's gonna have to show really good nerves to hold the game. Knight c4 or knight a4 are the only two moves that you're going to consider here, so he's going to play one of them. Do I have any classical chess? No, I had no classical chess coming up. I mean, I'm a streamer, you guys. I don't play classical chess. The only classical tournament that I have planned in the near future is the American Cup in March, I believe. I'll probably play that, but other than the American Cup, I don't have anything else even on the agenda right now. Oh, there's Norway chess, sorry, in May. Norway chess as well. So those are the only two events right now that I have in classical chess. Knight a4 and knight c4 are both completely playable. No, knight 60 is not, well, I guess you could call it classical, but it's not regular chess. It's not regular chess. I don't know how you want to call it. Any hobbies or interests? I don't spend as much time on chess as I should. That's exactly why I have too many hobbies, if you could say that. I was watching Ancient Apocalypse again last night, by the way. Riveting stuff. Knight a4 looks better. I like knight a4 more. But knight c4 is like knight c4. The problem with knight c4 is it's 50-50. After takes is 50-50 because either he plays rook e4 and it's draw, or he doesn't and he loses. I like knight c4. I mean, knight c4, the thing is, if you find rook e4 you'll draw because now it's opposite colored bishops in a basic endgame. On the other hand, knight a4 there's no straightforward draw, but rook b1, like, is this, ooh, you have to go rook e1, ooh, because takes rook e2 and here comes the kebab and now you're actually just losing. I like knight a4 more. I think knight a4, rook e1, rook b1, f6, rook e1. I mean, maybe this is saving, but this looks very scary. Maybe this is actually an easy draw though. I don't know. Takes, maybe with the opposite colored bishops isn't that hard to draw. Oh wait, no, there's knight d1. Never mind. Maybe bishop, I mean, hard to judge. Very hard to judge which endgame is better. I like all of them. Am I playing freestyle? Yeah, I'm gonna be playing in Germany in February. I mean, I think I'll probably play the whole tour most likely. I mean, I think based on the regulations I probably qualify for every event, so I think I'll just play every event because why not? I mean, wrong strategy by Gukesh. Really, the question with this game is, why did Gukesh play the exchange French? To me, it's a strange choice to play the exchange French, Petrov, whatever you want to call it. A little bit strange for me to play this, actually. A little bit strange. Am I playing Tata Steel? No, I'm not playing Tata Steel. Tournament is way too long. It's 13 rounds. It's in the Netherlands in January. Conditions are miserable, frankly. I don't want to go somewhere like that in January where it's going to be like cloudy, it's going to be raining, windy. I mean, I'm past that stage in my life. I don't have to go and play those tournaments anymore. So I'm not playing there. I mean, that's not the only reason. Like you know, Vikonze has amazing food. I've always loved the food when I've gone there, but also frankly, I would say like when it comes to tournaments, unless they're direct qualifiers like the candidates, specifically like that, the motivation isn't there. But then also I would say that okay, goes knight c4, little bit of a bummer, because now if we get rook e4, the game will be a draw again, I think. Don't talk that. Well, I mean, I love Amsterdam, but Vikonze and Beverwijk are a little bit different. Beverwijk, I think I pronounced it correctly, but anyway, no, the point I was going to make is that just like, you know, the food is great and everything, but also frankly, when it comes to tournaments, if it's not a direct qualifier, the reason I play tournaments is if like I see organizers doing something that I really am a big fan of, they're trying to innovate, make changes and do these things, and in Vikonze they're not doing that. The goal is always just to hold the tournament, and that's that. And so it's the same old, and it just doesn't really appeal to me. It's still within the range of a draw. Knight c4 makes a draw much more likely, by the way, much more likely, because now if you can find some way to activate the rook, like rook e4 here, like if you activate the rook here, there's a very high chance of a draw because of the opposite colored bishops. Viewers at 20k on chess 24, you reckon it'd be double if you're playing? No idea. No idea. I mean, I think the time of day for the match is horrible, because basically the audience on Twitch is mostly going to be more European or North American centric, so you eliminate a huge amount of the audience. Like you're probably eliminating at least 20,000 people by holding it at this hour. Like if I have 7k, I bet that if this were a normal US hour, I would have 10k, and probably yes, I'd have 10k, and chess 24 would probably have 40k, probably. But the hour is horrible for anybody who's in North America. Rook e4 is not too unnatural. It's actually very logical. I mean, of course, once you see it, it is. Computers make it that way, because you go rook d4, now you can sort of control the only open file. Yeah, you control the open file here. No, I mean, I think the hour should never be geared towards China. Ding won the match, and I mean, I'm not trying to be rude here. Ding won the match. Nobody cared in China that he won. I mean, it sucks, but that's the reality. For India, I agree. India, definitely, it's a thing, but I think 5 p.m. I mean, could have held it. I don't know, holding it after work hours. I actually think Indians will watch it any hour of the day. And we get rook e4. Yeah, rook e4 is not an insane move to play. I mean, it's still bad, but nah, but you know what? This is gonna be a draw. It's gonna be a draw. It's gonna be a draw. This is gonna be a draw. I'm pretty confident. Rook c8, it will not be played here, I don't think. I'd be very impressed if we get rook c8. I mean, why is it so good? Oh, it's because you have rook c5. That's why. Because I was thinking you have rook c5. That's why you have rook c5. Because if rook c6, there's rook d6 to cut you off. You can't activate, but you always have rook c5. Tricky. Yeah, rook c8, rook c5 is actually very good, but very hard to play here. You don't get it with this, or you do? Don't you still get it? Oh, you don't get it because now I cut you off with rook d8, and so if you get this, now suddenly you don't have either square available. Really dank stuff. Really dank stuff. I think rook c5 is literally the only idea to try and win the game. I mean, this game is basically, it's going to come down to the next 5 moves. If Ding is super precise and Gukesh isn't, Ding wins the game. Now, if Gukesh is very precise and Ding isn't precise, it's going to be a boring draw, actually. It won't even be fun. But it's a big moment here. Let's see if we get rook c8, rook c8, rook c5. b5 does nothing, because now actually if you get this position, white just brings the king to the center here. Polymarket 68%. Yeah, I mean, I think 68 is close to fair. I mean, basically it's going to come down to the next 5 moves. Next 5 moves will decide the game. That's all that needs to be said. Next 5 moves decide the game. That's it. Next 5 moves, and then the next 5 moves will decide it. Bishop c6, rook d4, f6 is very strong. Actually, you know what? I kind of like that. I like this f6 idea because it takes rook e2 to GG, right? Because you get a protected pawns and you have a kebab. This is GG. Yeah, could be tricky. Could be very tricky, actually. All right, I'm gonna go get some more cracks and I'll be right back. At least he's open about getting some crack. What? No, you guys, this is not a Kai Snatch stream where people are doing crack on stream. Let's see what's played by Ding here. Didn't some rapper do something? Didn't some rapper literally do drugs on his stream? Allegedly? I mean, there's a clip. What are you guys talking about? There's a clip. Oh, just some rapper? Okay, whatever. Okay, rook d4. Probably f6. Guys, write in English, please. Rook c4 loses to rook d8. It says like a 0.2. That's only if you play rook d4 and f4. Very unclear. Every move is important now. Okay, f6. Let's get f6 here. Was it chess sleepover? I don't know. I will say, jokes aside though, it's Kai's stream has been pretty entertaining at times. I haven't watched much, but it has been pretty entertaining. Dude, he hanged a person on stream. Well, he didn't do it first of all, right? Didn't the guy just like do a stunt? But secondly, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit insane to have magicians. Oh, he pressed a button? Wait, what? Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I didn't know that. Really? That's pretty bad, actually. I have a feeling if that was someone else, they would have gotten banned too. But whatever. If we get bishop f3, king f2, this will be a draw pretty soon, actually. I think he's not moved, has he? No moves yet. I know Ding's performance has been very choppy. I actually, to tell you the truth, I'm much more surprised by Gukesh's performance. I don't know. Gukesh is kind of I know Gukesh's performance is definitely I'm definitely surprised by. I think that it's, to me it seems pretty clear that Gukesh has a lot of nerves. He definitely has a lot of nerves here, and the experience factor is playing a huge role. To me that seems pretty clear. But I mean, I think it's also clear that something Magnus said, which is that like he didn't expect he didn't expect Gukesh to kind of fall apart or to basically help Ding win the match. To me, it seems pretty clear that in fact, Gukesh is struggling a lot with trying to like keep it together. He's struggling a lot. Like he's making mistakes in these games, which are definitely a little bit surprising. I think Gukesh is going to draw the game. I think he'll probably draw this game now. I mean, I think the path to try. I mean, what it's. I think he's gonna draw. I think it's gonna draw pretty easily. Actually, I think it's almost time to do a re. Nah, it's not. It's not gonna go. It's still gonna go for a bit, but it's likely gonna be a draw. Ding has not moved. No, I can't do a recap because this could definitely go longer than 30, and I didn't set the right recording format. I don't think you can change you can't change the recording format, can you? No, I have it as MKV, so I can't change the recording format to where I could pause. I'd have to end the stream and reboot the stream with a different kind of format. I'm not gonna do that. That would be idiotic. Okay, Ding getting ready to move. Hikaru starting the recap is like when the US networks call the election. Absolutely, 100%, totally, at 150%. Yeah, I could record the first half, yeah, but two-part video would be just stupid. That doesn't really make sense. Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense at all. Waiting for a move. Takes. Okay, king f2, bishop h5, king e3 will be played. I think all these moves should happen. Music is completely fine. Completely fine. Yep, bishop h5, king e3. Wait, what? Okay, wait, what's this? Okay, what's this? Okay. Okay, let's get the recap ready.